Greetings and salutations, everybody. I am Dan, and I'm here with my co-host Carlito, and we are celebrating 1 year of Celluloid Scotch. I am not drinking Scotch tonight. I am drinking whiskey, but
how dare
whiskey
you?
Scotch. The Jameson Black Barrel has become a new favorite of mine. I actually like it more than the Eagle Rare bottle that I paid double for.
It's really good, though.
It is. Want to say hello to some people. John is out eating dinner with family. But
Hey,
thank you, John, for listening. I appreciate it. Bearded, always good. Also, like, Bearded is one of the greatest arguers with Ryan.
Oh, dude, it's so hilarious.
Go back and listen to or watch our Batman episode for Mask of the Phantasm last week, or a couple of weeks ago, last episode. And on John's channel, we did the Batman by Matt Reeves, and our countdown of Batman movies. It was a fantastic time. I apologize to anybody who watched the end of the last show where I was so drunk at the end.
What?
I went way over my Mendoza line.
No.
My co-host Adriana, pretty nerdy, was pretty pissed at me for texting her at almost 1 a.m.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she was not pleased. I got a "Hey drunkie" text the next morning. 2 hours of glory, 3 hours of way too much on John's channel. No, it was a fun time for both shows, and it was a great crossover. And I also like that we have our different opinions, but we're respectful for the most part, except for about the Snyder Cut.
I don't know. I think everybody was pretty disrespectful, in my opinion, but
you're true. You're very right there, Bearded.
Sure, Bearded, true.
I also the humor of it is Carlito and I, our first episode we did was the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
That's right.
So it all went full circle. The true first episode, but it was kind of feeling it out. We did Tenet because we both had a lot to talk about with that episode.
Dude, I still have pages I could talk about on that.
And it's the funny thing because Carlito and I met because of Jen, Comics Break Your Heart, and I had a show we did weekly. And during Halloween time, we were taking suggestions of horror movies to talk about. So he recommended The Black Coat's Daughter, and we spent about a half hour just fucking on that movie. And Carlito and I kept talking movies after that. And it was during a time where I stopped doing my weekly show because I was having health issues, and I kind of didn't know if I was gonna do any more shows, but we started drinking and talking movies, and I was like, fuck, I miss doing this, because when I started the channel I did horror movies, and I kind of started the channel as a way to deal with my grief after my mom died, because weirdly watching horror movie reviews on other channels made me feel better because I just got lost in the cinema discussion. So I was like, man, if I could do this and do it for someone else, make them feel better, awesome.
This is the director's cut, Bearded.
Then I started doing reviews, and for about a year, and just getting hammered by YouTube's
I can't believe that, dude. I watched all your stream ones so far.
I hated editing. I hated everything. But our guest is in the waiting room, so let me go ahead and get him on. Another film fan, comic fan. We have Adrian, Actual Dracula, joining us.
What is up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Great, glad to have you on. Unfortunately, Carlito missed the Bram Stoker's Dracula discussion on your channel, which was a load of fun, especially with all your info about how they did the effects on it and the backgrounds. Right. And so, Carlito, did you know like they hand painted the backgrounds of the train?
I knew some of that, but I think I was kind of in a virus haze, but I did do the replay or whatever. So
great info. And again, that's one of those weird movies, especially finding out how Francis Ford Coppola got involved in it, where like basically Winona Ryder went to make peace with him after dropping out of the Godfather 3.
Right. I remember you mentioned that the one of your previous episodes, your last, I think, open film discussion. Yeah.
She brought the script. We were talking about just Godfather 3 in general, because it's one of those strange movies in history.
I actually was gonna bring that up because yeah, I had just been watching your kind of last open movie discussion, and you guys were talking about that because Dan, you mentioned you didn't want to get the new box set because you didn't want Godfather 3,
Yeah.
and Carlito, you're a fan of that movie.
Well, I like it more than everyone else, it seems like.
Okay, so Godfather, which it's like I could probably say it's my favorite movie. It's easily one of them. But many years ago, before I had even seen The Godfather, I had heard, everyone was telling me, yeah, you got to see The Godfather, but just so you know, part 3 sucks. So, um, you know, I guess in order to preserve the masterpiece that is parts 1 and 2, I to this day have not seen part 3. I haven't even watched it.
So
Wow.
I think the thing is
Okay.
with Godfather 2 was so unbelievably strong
Mm-hmm.
that anything lesser than that was going to be a disappointment.
Right.
And that's the curse of having so many damn good movies, where it's just like anything lesser. Like, I think that's the Star Wars problem,
Exactly.
where as
Yeah.
children we think so fondly of those first 2 or 3, the first 2 in particular, that it's the law of diminishing returns, where you're just like disappointed. And it's so weird with it because Godfather 3 actually has some very good, strong performances. Andy Garcia is fucking amazing in that movie. But there's just something, and I can't put my finger, there's something wrong with it. And Sofia Coppola, everybody jams on her, and I don't think it's fair, because literally she was cast last minute because Winona Ryder dropped out. And you start trying to picture that movie with Winona Ryder. Would it have been better, or was the writing just not there?
I think she would have been better actress because Sofia Coppola had like no experience. Which I mean, I don't.
Sorry, go on.
No, hey, what's up, Gore? Yeah, I would agree with that.
I've seen them so many times now that I've decided, you know what, next time I watch it, I am actually going to watch part 3. I think it's probably about time I at least watch it.
You have to watch it.
Yeah, at least watch it once,
I kind of, so for you, is 1 or 2 your favorite? Because I know a lot of people who love part 1, but part 2, when you put in the performances by oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Oh god, the younger Vito.
De Niro?
De Niro, yes. God damn, why am I blanking? This is the bad start.
Robert De Niro, famous actor. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat famous.
But him and the young Vito, and the way the time jumps there, and the end of Fredo and that whole conspiracy, and then you got Frank Pantangela.
I love that guy.
Your father, he worked with Hyman Roth, but he didn't trust Hyman Roth. Like, that whole thing, I love that whole subplot.
Yeah, as do I. I don't know that I can pick one over the other. I mean, to me, they are the same movie, right? It's just one movie broken up into different parts. I don't see it as being 2 separate movies. Like, I have to watch them both, one after the other.
If you got 5 hours in your day to dedicate to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I do have my fondness for part 1, just the
everything around that movie.
I'd say maybe part 1 if I had to pick one. Yeah.
I mean, for one, was it James Caan who was Sonny?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He is so over the top in it, which is James Caan as we know now. That's him. And of course, you get that powerful performances by Marlon Brando, who at that point he just didn't give a fuck anymore. Like the fact they had to staple his lines on the back of people on their outfits is fascinating to me, but he still murders the scenes that he's in. You come here on my daughter's day of her wedding. You ask me for murder. You ever ask me for a cup of coffee? No. Like he's stroking the cat. Like there's just so many good scenes with him. And then when he smacks the shit out of Johnny Fontaine, you can act like a man.
Yeah. So
there's
good.
just so much good. And then, you know, young Al Pacino before he's a hoo-ah phase of his career. So
yeah, he was more subtle back then. It's weird.
Very much so. Because that was before Scarface, Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah, there's not too many roles where he's subtle, right? So
not after the 80s. And then as he got older, it got even weirder. That 88 Minutes movie was probably like him at his wackiest.
I forgot about
that movie. Yeah.
The How Did This Get Made podcast did it, and they had the comedian Pete Holmes on it, and he does such a spot on Al Pacino. It's scary.
Nice.
How Does This Get Made is a terrific podcast, by the way, if people don't listen to it. I've also got hooked on that movie, the movie discussion Blank Check. Where it's basically about directors who they hit big early and they were given a blank check for any movie they wanted to do later on.
Okay.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Mob drama is good, especially like the whole Italian-American coalition came out against the Godfather when it came out. Yakuza drama, what was it? Black Rain with Michael Douglas?
I
haven't seen that.
It was a fantastic Yakuza drama.
That wasn't with the kidnapped kid, was it?
Oh, it's been a long time since I watched it. I just remember the cover was Michael Douglas on a motorcycle looking tough. The Asian coalition came out against them on that too.
Speaking of Yakuza, like another movie, like Godfather, if I'm gonna, like I said, if I'm gonna watch part 1, I am going to watch part 2. Maybe not right after, but at least the next day. Or same thing with Kill Bill. Like it's got to be.
Yes.
To me, it's 2 parts of the same movie. It's not like are there movies like that for you guys where like, because this is something I thought about before, like the difference between a sequel, like technically it's a sequel, but not really. It's still the same movie. Other like say franchises, like say
Halloween 1 and 2,
the Indiana Jones movies, you can view those all as completely separate movies. They're like kind of like proper sequels in the sense that they're, you know, kind of loosely related to one another and that they have the same main character, right? But other than that, it's not necessary to watch any of the other Indiana Jones movies to enjoy.
Because Temple of Doom is very skippable in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like the movie, but it's very skippable.
Yeah, I watched it recently, and yeah, it is. I still enjoy it, but
Kalima!
Yeah,
like I love it.
There's some classic scenes in that movie for sure.
Halloween 1 and 2, the original John Carpenter ones, are ones that I feel it's the same movie.
Yeah,
even though they were filmed years apart, like they purposely went for it to be a continuation. There's a couple of movies like that. I feel like you have to definitely. I just bought the 4K editions of the Lord of the Rings, the original, and they were all the director's cut. So I spent 9 hours of my day watching all of them because you have to watch them all.
You have to, yeah.
The Hobbit, not so much. Like that was a cash grab in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't even finish watching those Hobbit movies.
They're terrible. They're really terrible, and it's disappointing.
I haven't even seen Return of the King yet. Still.
So you don't know how the story ends?
I don't know how the story ends.
Oh my God.
So
crazy.
I kind of wanted to get into this. What do you guys feel about director or producer cuts, the extended cut craze going on? Because I had Carlito recently. He was going to watch Dr. Sleep, and I was like, hey, man, watch the director's cut on the Blu-ray. I think it's a better cut. Mm-hmm. And it's become kind of a hot point topic, especially about the Snyder stuff with the...
Only for bearded. Only for bearded.
All right. Well, His
You
opinion
know what
doesn't-
I feel. I
his
like
opinion doesn't
him.
matter. He's not here. So.
I like him. Yeah, that's true. Like, okay, so what is it? The final cut of Blade Runner is the best.
I was gonna
The
say that.
ultimate
Yes.
cut of Batman vs Superman is the best. The director's cut of Doctor Sleep is the best. So I don't know. I mean, I think they've been knocking it out of the park with those. But
I love Denis Villeneuve about Dune. He was like, "There's footage that were cut. You're never gonna see it. This is my cut. This is all you're ever gonna see."
well, if it's actually his cut, then
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, I just wish studios wouldn't meddle, and then we could just get the director's cut without it having to be special, you know. But
Ridley Scott and James Cameron, I think, are two of the first people I remember like hearing about. Oh man, there's like this longer cut. Like Aliens was the first one I remember where there's this other cut, and I just remember going, "Wait, what is this cut?" Like Aliens is for me almost a flawless movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, it's just a stupid little thing with them putting that little drone out in the hallway, and I was
Right.
like, I was fascinated by that drone.
And the quadrilogy box set, didn't that have like 3 cuts of each movie or something? It had a lot of.
So
different-
I remember they had the assembly cut of Fincher's, which is a superior fucking movie. Like even just watching this assembly cut like raw, it's a way better movie for Alien 3. Hello, Moonlit. By the way, Adrian guested on Moonlit's channel talking about Moon Knight. And
oh no, I will be.
Oh, you will be. I thought you did part
no,
3
next week.
ooh, I gotta
Okay.
watch the latest episodes.
So you will see him on there, and then in June-ish, we are doing Alan Moore's Swamp Thing read through.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking
With
forward to
myself, Jen, Gambit, No Good Comics, Moonlit, and Adrian. It's in my opinion one of the best runs and the most romantic runs involving a monster. Moonlit's very excited. She's never read it before, so I'm super excited to go through this with new readers because I think people always talk about Watchmen with Alan Moore being his best. I think Swamp Thing is actually his best work.
There's definitely it's definitely in contention. I haven't completed the whole run yet, but what I have read of it, I've read a big chunk of it, and it's some of the best comics ever made, easily.
So I've had Rodney Barnes, who writes Philadelphia, on quite a few times, and he cites it as his greatest comic ever.
Yeah.
And it influenced Philadelphia heavily, where even there's pages in the second trade where he asked Sean Alexander, I want you to ape John Toddlebon's hell.
Yeah.
Weirdly, it's a run that you can't just jump around. There's so many nuances, and Alan Moore is a weird dude. He is weird as fuck, but I really think he's just, his early runs were fantastic. His Superman stuff is some of the best Superman stuff I've read. Hey Taylor, what's up? He's in here. Unruly Simeon, your A-OK to me was one of the nicest things I've ever gotten. I appreciate you sending me that. I can't express enough. Like, you didn't need to do that. He sent me a Nita Hawes version variant signed by Sean Alexander, and then a CGC slab of Philadelphia #1.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, one of the sweetest things, and I appreciate it so much. And if I get my hands on any rare Planetary stuff, it will be coming your way. Which Planetary, for anybody who has not read it, by Warren Ellis and John Cassidy, it's 25 issues. It is if I were going door to door as a Bible salesman, that is the book I would be handing you.
Yeah, that's one I haven't got around to yet.
Unruly's the man.
Ooh, why Swamp Thing over Watchmen or League? So, Watchmen was a commentary on Reagan-Thatcher era. It's very political. Swamp Thing is a love story. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was fascinating just because they took all these weird public domain characters and turned them into something. I know Swamp Thing for some reason just resonates with me. Maybe it's the swamp creature bit, or maybe it's the weird love I had for that really horrible Wes Craven first Swamp Thing movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, as much as I love Swamp Thing, Watchmen's still my favorite comic of all time. I don't think anything will ever top that.
They're very much different creatures. If I could be honest, like I feel like Watchmen's a commentary on the world and maybe comic book media in general, where Swamp Thing is just this weird love story between a creature and a woman.
Oh,
where he goes to hell to rescue her.
Never mind. I won't dog on movies that deal with that subject. I'll just shut up.
I already feel like you're going with that. Oh god, the
it won fucking Best Picture. Nobody can remember it.
One Best Picture.
Prometheus Amazing Unruly. If you want to see a different take on Wonder Woman, it is an incredible book. Also, J.H. Williams III does the art on it, which if you read Batwoman or Echolands or
sorry.
Oh, his art is fantastic.
No, Ignacio just dropped the name of the horrible...
Shape of Water, yes. That's
Shape of Water, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. I have not seen that, but
From Hell was brilliant. The movie, not so much. V for Vendetta, yes. Marvel Man, Miracle Man, yes, very much so. Again, his early stuff from the 80s, late 70s is just incredible. Warren Ellis, he got kind of discovered. I've had my problems trying to divorce myself from the writer as a person and his works. I think that happened with a lot of characters now. Frank Miller in particular is one where going back over some of his work, I was like, wow, that's wildly racist. I never picked this up before because I was a kid when I read it originally.
Yeah, actually, I've talked about this with Taylor. So Warren Ellis did a very short, but I think pretty excellent Moon Knight run. Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Oh, yes, with Lemire.
Yeah.
No,
Declan Shalvey.
Declan Shalvey. Yeah, it's really good. Short run, but really good.
I've never read any Moon Knight, and I'm loving the show. Apparently, I was told last night by Burke
Warren Ellis,
some other
and
people.
Lemire are closer to what we're getting in the show.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But apparently, if you've read the comics, you should hate the show, which I don't know if that's true or not. But
well, I haven't watched the new one yet. But first three, I don't hate the show. Maybe a little disappointed. I am a big Moon Knight fan, so there's things I like about it, things I don't. That's.
I mean, I like Oscar Isaac, so
he's a great actor.
That's pretty much all
he's
that's
kind of
doing
in
Ex Machina.
That's one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever.
Yeah, he's incredible in that movie.
It's a small role, but he's awesome.
Ethan Hawke's making a nice comeback because I've seen the trailers for the Black Telephone or Black Phone, the horror movie that's coming out in June, and everything about it I love. He basically is kidnapping children and murdering them.
Oh wait, you know what? I saw the trailer for that.
Yes,
Ellis
and there's
Iron
something
Man?
about it that's fascinating.
Have you read Iron Man? I guess Warren Ellis did a short run on
He did an Iron Man run, but it was not great.
Really?
I know people hated the Matt Fraction run. Moon Knight is a weird character. You could do a lot with that character, and I knew that there was a lot they weren't going to be able to do on that show because it's Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was that's what I was saying last night was
and
it's Disney.
But Oscar Isaac's a fantastic actor, and I will give him credit for being able to switch from character to character. And it's where I am with James McAvoy, where on Split, his ability to keep jumping from character to character, and he was improvising most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Moon Knight versus Daredevil. Are we talking shows or comics? Because there's a whole...
Well, if we're talking shows, I think Daredevil wins so far.
Daredevil 100%, yeah.
Daredevil season 1, 100%. That corridor fight in season 1. Since the raid, no better fight scene.
Even comics, I'm going to go Daredevil because of the, Frank Miller, Klaus Janson stuff.
Yes.
All the Moon Knight comics.
I love Sienkiewicz. I love Sienkiewicz to death. I love his art. Oof.
You love who? You love who?
Bill Sienkiewicz. He was the artist on Moon Knight back in the day.
I'm a big fan of Bill Sienkiewicz.
I just like hearing people say his name.
My favorite thing about Moon Knight is Bill Sienkiewicz, probably.
Nice.
If I'm being honest.
There was that weird run with Stephen Platt during the 90s where he was like the next McFarlane, but he wasn't McFarlane.
No. Still a great artist. It is.
Yes.
Own right. Yeah.
I am stoked that, I guess John Berthel might be coming back as Punisher.
He better be.
Supposedly, yeah.
He was great.
Really?
Although he had a little bit of Walking Dead. Can't see them all, Red.
A little bit of Shane in him, but
a little bit of Shane.
Yeah, but he nailed it in that.
There was that vulnerability
mm-hmm.
and just anger in him that he just can nail. And that season 2 of Daredevil with him was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And season 1 of Punisher. Season 2 is very slow, but season 1 was great.
The Platt stuff, it's. That was when Marvel was like, fuck writers, we're just gonna throw artwork out there because image.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rob Liefeld bought him a very expensive car and got him to Extreme Studios, and then they folded.
Yeah.
Moon Knight has had some good stories over it. So since we have Actual Dracula on here, and we know he's a fan of Dracula, I have to talk about vampires.
Yeah.
Why have we not had a good Dracula movie in a long time?
It's been a while. So the last really interesting Dracula thing that I can remember was not a movie, but the Netflix show. The Martin Gatiss Netflix show, which I did enjoy. But last good vampire movie, I can't even remember.
Because that Luke Evans one was not good.
Yeah. Oh, what do you think? What do you think about Renfield? You looking forward to that?
Nick Cage is in it. I have to watch it. I have to watch.
Same here.
So Nick Cage is one of those people in movies that you want to fuck with him about. What was this Edward Snowden movie where he played his instructor? I thought he was great in that.
I didn't see that, but he. You either love him or hate him, I guess. I am a big fan of Nick Cage.
He's a huge fan of vampires and gothic horror, so I think he's gonna nail this. I really do. When he's super interested in something, and no matter what you want to say about Nick Cage, he's going to give his all. His all might be off the wall and not what you're looking for.
Yeah. As if you're just a straight up Bela Lugosi fan, you're probably not going to like Nicolas Cage's Dracula, right? Because he's totally going to do it his own way as he always does. But that's what I'm really looking forward to, just seeing what his approach to the character is, right? So
part of me is always looking for the Tomb of Dracula kind of storyline where you have these descendants of Van Helsing and Harker hunting Dracula, and you could make a TV series, you could make a movie out of it, but that book was so well written for Marvel, it's insane that they haven't tried to kind of adapt it.
I'm waiting on it. Still waiting.
I just started buying all the Epic collections because it's too much money to actually be the single issues now.
Yeah. But yeah, they have there's so much potential there to so much material to draw from
I mean,
to do a Tomb of Dracula project. So
I think my favorite vampire movie that came out in a couple of years, well, it's been 20 years at least, Shadow of the Vampire with Willem Dafoe, the mockumentary basically of the making of Nosferatu.
Yes. Yeah, that was excellent.
And Willem Dafoe and Carrie Elwes were so good in that movie. And if nobody's seen Shadow of the Vampire, fantastic movie. And just, it also kind of shows you a little bit of the silent movie era of what was going on. But then take this 1920s movie and then make another movie kind of saying, oh yeah, he was a real vampire.
Yes.
It was fantastic. Fright Night also, I still think is one of the more underrated vampire movies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Miniseries, Midnight Mass. I fucking loved
Midnight
it.
Mass.
Very good.
It was really good. Yeah.
Totally fresh take on that.
Oh, yeah, I was really really happy with that because I'm a big fan of what's his name?
Flanagan?
Mike Flanagan. Yeah.
Yes.
Me too.
Haunting
Me too.
Hill House. The second
There's another
one,
remake of Nosferatu coming out. That's, I don't think it's Willem Dafoe.
Another one?
Yes.
But actually, so the last movie I watched, rewatched was 2 nights ago. I rewatched Oculus, also Mike Flanagan.
That's the one I haven't seen. I need to watch that.
You need to watch Oculus. That's for a modern horror movie. It's absolutely one of the better ones. One of the best horror movies I'd say made in the last 10 years is Oculus.
So, Let the Right One In. I recommend watching. Or is it called Let Me In overseas? I can't remember because there's one called Let Me In.
Yeah,
Let Me In is the one overseas,
one,
and then Let the Right One In was the one with the girl who played Hit Girl, which it's not horrible, but I think the foreign performance, much like the girl with the dragon tattoo, is so much better.
Yeah, Let Me In is. I agree. It's better.
Near Dark. Listen, I'm a huge Bill Paxton fan. He plays such an insane fucking vampire in that, and Catherine Bigelow, like, this is after she did Point Break. So interesting to watch.
I need to see Near Dark too. God dang it! I need to make.
It's on Shudder right now.
That too. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yes.
That's a good thing because I've had Shudder for 3 years now, and I haven't used it in the last year and a half. So I need to start using it.
Yeah, Oculus is the one with the haunted mirror, which
with
as
Karen
a premise is not that interesting, but it was really well done.
Karen Gillan from Dr. Hill.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, highly recommend Oculus.
Doug Jones is playing Count Orlok in the new Nosferatu movie.
Doug Jones,
who played Abe Sapien.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He also played
Taylor, get out of here.
I like that movie.
Oh no, What We Do in the Shadows.
I'm not saying it's bad. I haven't seen it. I don't know. Taylor bugs me.
Fair enough, but he has a good point. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's a very good vampire movie. The show is really good as well. Yes,
it's very funny. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's weird because we've joked about this before, but in the new Scream movie, which Carlito just watched, they talk about elevated horror.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, it's a pretentious term, but
it is. Yeah.
Some of the A24 movies are super pretentious, so I get it now. I hated it at first, and I kind of get the term. And one of the best terms coined in that movie was the requel. It's not a reboot, it's not a prequel, it's a requel.
Okay. Yeah. Sort of like the Carrie remake or something.
Sort of. Well, they joked about it because the new Scream basically is a requel. It's a reboot with new characters, but we still have all of the old characters coming back to make it still a sequel.
Franchise characters, I think is what they called them.
Yeah. And weirdly, like, so did you ever watch Ready or Not?
The show?
No, the movie with they played like hide and seek and they were trying to kill the
No,
girl on her
I
wedding
didn't
day.
see that.
I heard that was good.
It's a great
Harry
movie.
loved it.
I liked it a lot. The people who made that movie are making made this last Scream movie, and I think they're going to be the new team handling all the Scream movies. And it's funny that, like, again, they're making fun of themselves. There's huge Wes Craven references in it.
Dude, I love that, man. That was one of my favorite parts because I was like, the whole time thinking, is this going to do justice for Wes? You know, and I like how they dedicated it to him too.
So would the new
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre be considered a requel?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Which I hated the people we were supposed to be rooting for.
Yeah.
And that bugs me more than anything else in these movies is when you have protagonists you hate.
Yes.
Yes, Only Lovers Left Alive was basically a new age interview with a vampire.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Another
one. Speaking of Nicolas Cage, Vampire's Kiss.
Yes,
another iconic Nick Cage performance. And what's that '80s one? The Hunger.
The Hunger with David Bowie.
David Bowie, yeah.
Oh god,
that one's got Bauhaus in it.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, they played the extended cut of it. God, I hate
Adrian, have you seen Sunset on the River Styx?
I have not.
I'm just looking up like top vampire movies the last 5 years.
So,
yeah,
like,
if
I
it's
have
in the past 5 years, there's probably not many I've seen.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I have a special affection for Salem's Lot. I always will.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, I haven't seen that in a long time.
The TV movie, I think the Barlow is superior, but there is a version of it that came out for TBS with Rob Lowe that's more book accurate.
Rob Lowe. What about Morbius, you guys? That's the best vampire movie we've had in 20 years. Come on.
I can't bring myself to watch it. I mean, I still haven't watched it.
I can't bring myself to watch it.
I bought Spider-Man No Way Home on 4K. And I still haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I only finally watched that like a couple weeks ago. And yeah, it's good. It's a Spider-Man movie.
It's okay. Oh wait, yeah. No Way Home or Morbius?
No Way Home. No Way Home. It didn't like blow me away or anything. It was just a good
Spider-Man it's solid.
Yeah.
I think the nostalgia of having Tobey Maguire and everybody else in it is what made everybody like gush.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that would affect me
pretty quickly. That kind of nostalgia, that goes away pretty quickly. You see them, you're like, oh my god! But it's like, I waited so long to see it. I already knew they were in the movie, so didn't really do much for me.
Yeah, Marcy, I thought we were too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean that movie was. I'm surprised they even watched that because normally when they do remakes and stuff of like just iconic movies like that, it's just like, what's the point? I might as well just watch the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I was gonna say,
but I figured, why? You know what? I'll watch it, and I will say it was worth it for the bus scene because the bus scene was pretty awesome. But that could have literally been any horror movie. Just throw that. It didn't have to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I just saw the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I loved it. I'm not going to watch any of the remakes just because I don't
bother. Yeah.
I don't really care. I like the original so much.
Watch part 2. Please, God, watch part 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Really?
like Dennis Hopper is fucking in it for some goddamn reason.
Shit! Yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah.
He has a chainsaw duel with Leatherface in an amusement park.
Yeah.
It
I
is
forgot
fucking Bill
about that,
Moseley's in
man.
it.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude! I want to watch that like right now.
yeah.
It's so dumb that it's great. Like it's basically 80s cocaine visualized on screen.
Yeah.
Sweet.
The Omen remake was pointless. Like, oh boy, Julia Stiles was in that, I think. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say what I think about her, but
There's weird movies that should never, and like weirdly on the thing of Tarantino, I the other day I tried to find Grindhouse on Blu-ray because I hadn't watched it in a while and I kind of wanted to watch it, and it's very hard to find right now. It's kind of expensive. It's the whole thing with the Weinstein Company where a lot of this stuff hasn't been reprinted since all the allegations came out. But then I started thinking about Tarantino, and there is one movie that stands out, and it's mostly Rodriguez. I fucking love From Dusk Till Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's the best George Clooney role, and I think it's because he plays such a great asshole in it.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. It is. Aside from Batman, of course. Hashtag restore the Clooneyverse, everyone. I'm starting my petition. Restore the Clooneyverse.
Oh boy. Rashid, there is an interview with the Vampire series starting soon. And I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it because I had this overwhelming feelings about the original interview with the vampire where I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan, and maybe just because of his antics off screen. But I thought him as Lestat was so interesting because he's just playing so off the wall and so out of character for him.
Was he jumping on couches?
He might as well have been.
I still haven't seen Interview with the Vampire, so
one of my favorite vampire movies and comics to this day is 30 Days of Night.
Yes.
Which
I was
doesn't
hoping
get
you'd
talked
bring
about
that up.
enough.
No,
Does not
really
get talked about enough.
I just rewatched that recently. It was so freaking good, man.
Jen and I were doing our weekly show. We had talked about how Philadelphia is the only other comic in the vampire genre that has kind of put the vampire genre on its head because it's so different. And 30 Days was the first one because when you think about it, it's such a simplistic kind of plot where, like, why did nobody think about this years ago?
I know.
And credit to Steve Niles because, I mean, he made that one book make his career.
And credit to Deathstroke, who was in it too. He was awesome.
Wait, which one?
Manu Bennett.
Okay.
The friend cop, I think. He does
From Dusk Till Dawn had a great narrative turn because it went one way, it went the other.
Yeah.
And again, Robert Rodriguez, I feel like when he has someone else writing for him, we're kind of overseeing him. He's fantastic. Like Alita Battle Angel.
Tarantino writing for him. I mean, helps.
Alita Battle Angel with James Cameron over his shoulder. Fantastic. He's had an interesting Robert Rodriguez. I mean, between the oh god, what the fuck was he did? Oh god, what the fuck the movie? God damn it! Now his first movie that came out where it was the guitarist who was killing people.
El Mariachi.
El Mariachi, which American came out as a different name, but to have that interesting kind of movie come out, Desperado, yes,
yeah,
and then like Spy Kids.
Well, that was this, or there's no, yeah, was that the same movie or that was a sequel?
The first movie was remade as Desperado.
Yeah,
he got a little bit bigger budget. Then Desperado 2, where Johnny Depp was blind in it as the CIA agent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And again, it's that whole diminishing returns.
That sounds awful, even though I love Depp.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Yeah. He kind of went the same way as Shyamalan, where Shyamalan at certain points like, I'm going to make movies for my kids. And I actually got into an argument with
like
one
The
of his...
Happening? Did he make that for his kids?
No, but Lady in the Water was one. After Avatar: The Last Airbender, I got into an argument with his daughter on Twitter, which is not one of my proudest moments.
Wow,
Because
Dan. What
I
the
had posted that I got up in the theater and said, "Boo, fuck you," when his credit came up.
Is that speaking of Rodriguez though, is there a more kind of perfect, or let's say more accurate adaptation of a comic book than Sin City? I mean, it's like literally just putting the comic on, making it come alive.
That was a damn good job, and I mean,
Yeah.
having Frank basically there over his shoulder. Unfortunately, they let Frank make the Spirit after that,
Right.
which was unfortunately way too much of too close to the comic with the racism in it. And Frank's like, "Yeah, do more of it."
Hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It needs more racism. Yeah.
Blood a Tale. I remember buying that as a kid. I had to have my mom go to the comic store with me to actually buy it because they actually carded me for it. That
find that.
Interesting series. My mom was like so supportive of my bad habits.
Ghost World. Yeah.
Ghost World was very good. And like
Is that a vampire movie?
No, it was just a comic book adaptation with Scarlett
Danny
Johansson
Close.
and Thora Birch.
Thora Birch, yeah.
With Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi.
That may be a more accurate. I mean, I never read Ghost World, but I mean, just visually, what Rodriguez did with Sin City was incredible because you see how he works. Everything is practical, and he seems like he's an excellent problem solver.
Yeah.
How he created just that stark black and white look, without having a huge budget and making everything look the way he did. I thought it was amazing.
I also it's weird that there are directors who for some reason can work with practical better than others. Like John Carpenter, his early stuff, like The Thing, should not have worked. And especially when you look at the one that had the digital recreations that they did, the sequel, it's insane just how good the practical effects were compared to the digital, and they're 30 years apart.
Yeah. Well, it's the same with the Star Wars movies when they put in the digital stuff. It just looks terrible.
It's worse than 4K. It literally is. I had that with Kong Skull Island. I just got my 4K TV and I started watching and I was like, oh no, like everything's popping out more, so I know exactly what's digital now. Skull Island was a decent movie. Like I think they did a pretty good job for them. They're entertaining. Yeah. And I think that's all you can really ask for at this point.
Drac, what are you drinking tonight?
I am not drinking scotch. I am
Canadian whiskey?
No, I'm just drinking some Basil Hayden.
Oh,
bourbon. Yeah.
Small batch Basil Hayden.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to say, Drac, I was laughing at you at opening day for baseball.
Oh yeah.
I've been to that stadium. I lived in Toronto for a year.
Okay.
I was in St. Clair West.
When was that?
2000. I was engaged to a Canadian girl, so I moved up there and stayed with her for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a comic store right outside of Queen Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember, like, I was amazed because every one of their back issue folders had pull-out file cabinets, and I cannot remember what the name of the store is to
It's
save my life.
Silver Snail.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember the store was very neat.
Yeah, that would have been Silver Snail. They're the only shop I can think of that has that. And they're one of the more, I guess, well-known shops in Toronto.
Hi, Jen.
Hey,
Thank you
Jen.
for stopping by. Also, we were just mentioning you earlier how Carlito had us watch The Black Coat's Daughter, and we hated it.
I had kind of stepped away from horror for a while, I think, and that was kind of my re-entry into watching stuff. So
Horror has always been like my steady, like, besides sci-fi, horror has always been my comfort food. Because there's always something, like, even if it's bad of horror, that I will watch and I'll be entertained by it. Wolf Cop is one of the worst fucking movies ever made, and I'm 100% entertained by it.
Mm-hmm.
It is low budget as fuck. And then there's movies like Dog Soldiers that came out by a guy who directed a shitload of episodes of Game of
Dog
Thrones.
chairs?
No, not dog chairs. It's a whole other genre. No, Dog Soldiers. There's weird movies that come out for horror that just end up transcending a little bit. The Descent.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love.
Yeah,
so good.
That was a good movie.
That's the thing. I wanted to like it, but it was so slow. But The Descent, I've never had a movie make me feel so uncomfortable from the confines of what they were in, where as you saw, like, the caves kind of getting closer on them, you started kind of like cringing.
It's very claustrophobic. Yeah.
What the hell is Ignacio talking about?
Wolf Cop.
Oh.
The dude's drunk in a urinal and he's pissing, and all of a sudden, like, his dick explodes.
I need to see this movie, Wolf Cop.
I want to say it was on Prime Instant.
That was at the bottom of my list, but it just jumped to the top just for that scene. So.
Oh, like, he stays as a wolf as a cop, and the drunker he gets, the better he gets.
Good for you, Gore. Good for you.
It's a good movie.
It is.
Explosion.
Yeah.
It's decent.
Yeah.
It's decent.
So, Lovecraft is another one where I get into that weird Frank Miller thing. I watched the documentary on Lovecraft where it was Neil Gaiman and Guillermo del Toro narrating it. And Lovecraft is so fucking xenophobic and racist. It's so hard to enjoy his work, and I know that he'd be pissed.
It was a different time, right?
I know that he'd be pissed that Lovecraft Country came out using his name because they're all people that he thought were lesser than him.
Right.
What?
Did you watch the Color Out of Space?
Yes.
Yeah. Also with Nicolas Cage, right?
Mandy as well was.
Mandy was excellent.
I need to watch that. Yes, I need to watch that.
So Mandy, yeah, that's I mean, that's perfect. If you like Nicolas Cage, you have to watch Mandy. That's a Nicolas Cage at, like, on a scale 1 to 10, that's him at like an 8.5 or a 9. You know, he's like really turning it on there.
I've talked about this a million times. I want them to do a shot-for-shot remake of Crank with Nicolas Cage, because they wrote that movie for him, and he was too expensive for them, so Jason Statham is who they had to get.
Right.
Damn, that sucks. Jeez.
Yeah, that does suck. They need to remake. I agree. Remake it with Nick Cage.
Like, shot for shot, but with Nick Cage. Like, I would be okay with it. Like, I need to see that.
I did not like that movie at all.
I still want to see Superman with Nicolas Cage.
I do too.
Happen,
oh yeah.
They were going to do an animated version of it at one point.
Yeah, I remember hearing
Not
about
the
that.
same, not the same, but just to hear him go, "Hey Lois, how's it going?" Where he's doing his like Elvis shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm gonna have to bring it down, Lex.
I still
But
think nothing tops Nicolas Cage with Sean Connery in The Rock. That's just my favorite. My favorite duo.
Oh no,
right there.
Face Off.
love The Rock. Face Off.
Yeah, that's good too.
Oh, no.
But I'm not a huge John Travolta fan.
No,
so,
but they're both trying to outchew the scenery.
yeah. But Sean Connery, some sniper's gonna get his ass. That's just classic.
So this is the part where I call out Carlito because you have Shudder and the Evil Dead movies are all on there.
He's still what you haven't seen them yet?
I still haven't seen any of the Jason Friday the 13th movies either, except for Freddy versus Jason, and then the ones we did on your show, Dan. I can't remember what.
Yeah, we did the Never Hike Alone series.
Yeah, and those were fucking excellent. So
Evil Dead, like, I'll warn you beforehand, you'll watch Evil Dead 1, and you'll go...
I'm afraid I'm going to think it's stupid.
Well, here's the thing, you have to rethink...
But
this
I know
is basically... No, this is basically a college dropout film. Where it was him and his buddies made a movie...
Dropouts?
No, it was him and his buddy making a movie out in the woods, so it's so crude that you won't appreciate it. And then he gets some budget and then goes to do Evil Dead 2 and makes it a fucking comedy. Hey, John. He makes it a comedy, and then Evil Dead 3 comes out, and they decide to go back in time. But Bruce Campbell is so amazing. And then they did the remake in 2013, which I hated when it came out. I rewatched it with fresh, less bigoted eyes. It's a great remake.
Yeah, I still have not watched that.
It's another one I'll say, the director's cut. They upped the gore by about 70%.
Shh, don't let Bearded hear that. He'll get mad.
Now that John's here, I wanted to bring up something. So the Thor Love and Thunder teaser came out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's weird because I'm having flashbacks of when they first announced Jane Foster Thor and Sam Wilson Captain America. Every fucking misogynist and dickhead racist came out of the fucking woodwork to just scream from their platforms about, that's not my Captain America. Oh, Thor's gonna have a vagina. Blah, blah, blah. Go fuck yourselves. Really? Like, seriously. So, yes, John's comments on his video he did, these assholes came out in full force about, oh, Thor's woman, blah, blah, blah.
So they've obviously never read any of the comics, then, is what they're saying, basically.
Basically, it's the MCU versions of what came out 6 years ago.
It's going to be MCU heavy, of course, but...
You have a guy, John, who does videos with his daughters every week talking comics. You're really going to come into his domain talking shit about female empowerment. Like, seriously, if you have a daughter, you want something like that. You want a powerful female presence. Yeah, the dude bros are in tears. And I was going to save this for the next show that I do for Mouse, but fuck it. Guys sliding into girls in the community's DMs, unwarranted. Go fuck yourselves. It is rude. So, Adriana, you know we're at Actual Dracula, pretty nerdy.
Yep.
She just had a breakup with somebody, just people sliding into her DMs constantly. And then she responded to somebody nicely and they called her a tease. Go fuck yourselves and learn manners.
Yeah,
I've seen Shy Comic Girl stuff about that going on. And I'm sorry, like, my mom raised me to be better. Think about if you had a daughter, what you'd think about your behavior. Seriously, go fuck yourselves. Like it's a bad name to guys.
Those guys
in the
are
community.
not thinking about that.
No,
You know, oh, if I had a daughter, that's not
it's
what's on their
Yeah,
mind. So
it's embarrassing, and the gatekeeping. I remember growing up, and I'm old. I would have loved to have known a girl in the comic community, just to talk to.
mhm.
We're in a time where we have so many girls that do it, and you guys are chasing them the fuck out of the community with your behavior. Knock it the fuck off. Like, I've seen it in the horror community too, like behavior like this.
Oh no shit.
Oh, good God, yes. And honestly, like, so Jen and I, when we're doing the show, and even I was raised by women, I didn't have a father around. So I always gravitated towards women, and women in the community are marginalized. So it's important to me to have them as part of my show and give them a voice, I guess would be the word. But I love hearing outside thoughts too. But I'm frustrated by this, and I'm not explaining myself well because I've had a couple of drinks, but I'm just done with it.
I mean, well,
There's a space for everybody.
There is, and here's the thing: as much as I mean, I love this community so much. I'm so grateful I discovered it and have become a part of it, and I've met so many incredible people. But like with anything else, you're gonna have your jerks and your jerk offs and you're just straight up assholes.
And your
No
jerk
matter what,
wads,
your
your
jerk
jerk
wads,
faces.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just fucking idiots, plain and simple. So unfortunately, but I will say, I've never met a community of people that is as generous and accepting as the comic book community.
Yeah,
I don't know. The
definitely
whiskey community is pretty close.
I could
the
see that,
Instagram
yeah.
community.
But
is,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Comic communities.
Yeah.
The Instagram community, I think, is tighter than the Twitter community.
I would think so. Yeah.
Boy, John, almost sound like the opening of the Facts of Life. You take
Oh,
the good,
God.
you take the.
He's gonna do a video on that now too. You watch. He's gonna do that.
No, but John and One True Nerd King, like seeing the stuff they were talking about, and again, Adriana had shared with me stuff that was going on her DMs, and I started getting more and more pissed. And then I saw Shy Comic Girls post about what was going on her DMs.
Right.
And I don't know what drives people to just be like that. It bothers me to shit because and maybe it's just the way I was raised, or I don't know. Like, it's just respect, and it's a clear lack of. So guys, do better.
Yeah,
That's
do
basically
fucking
the bottom
better.
line.
Yeah.
Do fucking better.
I don't know what triggers consent here, but no. Also,
Amen,
John, I wanted to also talk about something that showed up in your stories the other day about when you're talking to another YouTube content creator about them not doing what gets views, but doing what makes them happy.
What?
And I think this is something we talked about a lot of, not going for the views, but what actually makes you want to create content. And
I'm only here for the views, Dan. That's all I care about. I'm sorry.
I've gone with that before, where like John's heard me kind of whine privately of like, I don't understand why I'm not getting views. But then I'm like, am I content doing what I'm doing? Talking about what I want to talk about. And I don't know if you go through that, Adrian, where you just start looking at the numbers and start getting pissed off.
Not pissed off, but I guess just a little
disappointed.
Maybe a little disappointed, maybe a little curious, especially because, for myself, I saw when I first started my channel, I was kind of blown away that anyone was watching my stuff at all.
Same here.
And there was like this steady growth up until about the end of last year, and then it just stopped. You know, and I don't know if it's because maybe I started putting out less content or the kind of stuff I was putting out, but definitely the kind of drop in I guess new subscribers. It's just like I that's not why I have a channel. It's not why I make content. I do it because I enjoy doing it. But at the same time, I do because I'm not, I'm not just making this for myself. I do want people to see it, and the more people that see it, great. So that was the thing. I'm just kind of curious about how, it's the thing. Everyone that has a channel or an Instagram account or something, it's like, how do you find new people, new viewers? That's what's the key to the algorithm there?
It feels like word of mouth more than anything. I'm in the weird place. Like I have, we have a Dune over show where we talk about the book Dune. Our second season of it, the first episode's over 1,300 views, and I don't know why.
Right.
Other than after the movie, everybody kind of started.
That's what I was going to say.
And, John's been very nice plugging us, and he's got a lot of subscribers. Jen, when she went solo on her channel, has a lot of subscribers. It's a weird thing, and I haven't quite figured it out. And I kind of started getting into weird places with other YouTubers. I don't even know how to describe it, but apparently I'm in a feud with a group of YouTubers that I didn't know I was in a feud with.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. You're not in a feud with me, that's for sure.
No. It's with a certain group, but I'm friendly with one of their main people. It's a weird thing, but
now you just pissed off all the dude bros, so
yeah.
I'm good with that. So like Jen and I literally got messages on comments when we were doing our weekly show that the reason why half our hair fell out is because we're so liberal.
What?
Yes. Yeah, Jen and I were way too liberal, and we'd get comments saying, that's why you guys are missing half your hair. Liberalism made your hair fall out.
I'm not even going to touch that one. That's just hilarious.
Literally someone left that comment one day, and I was like, hey, Jen, you up with this? And she was like, what the fuck ever?
I know more bald, tight-ass Republicans than anyone else. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't see any correlation there whatsoever.
Jen and I had gone on a rant about, I forget what political thing, but we've had creators on where we are interviewing them. And weirdly, when we talked to Ronnie Barnes from Philadelphia, he had put a riot in before it ever happened. So we're like, hey, when did this happen? He's like, oh, I wrote it way before then. The best.
I mean,
it's true. It's really true.
Good point, Ignacio.
Yes.
If you guys are in for some serious conversation, next week we'll be doing Mouse by Art Spiegelman, which was Nazis as cats and Jews as mice. So we're doing both volumes of that, so it should be an interesting book club.
Yeah, I mean that's again one of the best comics ever made, easily.
As far as comics as literature, I think it's one of the best. Persepolis, I thought, was also very good. Yes, Chrissy Chaos will be joining us, and a cartoonist, Scott Hazelwood, who did Doomtober, will be joining us. I was very careful about who I picked for that show.
So Mouse, I think a lot of people would consider Mouse to be Art Spiegelman's best creation, and his second best would probably be the Garbage Pail Kids.
Wait, what?
Art Spiegelman created the Garbage Pail Kids.
What?
I had no idea about that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
You're just full of knowledge, Drac.
Yeah, it's very different. You know, he's a man of many talents.
Dude, every time I watch your content, I always learn something. That's what I
Well,
like
that's
about
good.
your
I'm
stuff.
here. I would
Because
say
I don't
I'm
know,
here.
but then again, I don't know jack shit, so, I mean, you can't
Yeah, I
really
mean,
gauge that off me. But
I don't know that much either. I just know random things like that, random facts like Art Spiegelman created the Garbage Pail Kids.
I have a lot of movie fact knowledge that just goes to
Mhm.
waste. It used to be good for the movie trivia schmodown on
Yes.
Collider, but other than that, it's pointless.
Hey Jen,
Oh,
if
so
you're
did-
still, sorry, Jen, if you're still here, let's speak wider on this next week before we start the mouse discussion. I know you have more to say, and you'll probably say it Sunday on your show with Mars, but I think this is a discussion we need to talk about more. Sorry.
I am a river to my people. Yes, thank you, Ignacio. Ignacio, you might be one of my only people, but I'm here for you to bathe. I'm here for you to bathe in, Ignacio.
He's been bitten.
Yeah,
Purify
so I was
yourself
gonna
in the
say-
waters of Lake Minnetonka.
I was gonna say about Mouse. So I don't know if you guys have read the Cult of Dracula or Rise of Dracula comics.
I have not.
So they were created by this guy Rich Davis. He's the writer. I interviewed him a couple times on my channel, and so a couple months ago, I don't know if you remember, in Tennessee, there was like a school board that included Mouse
Yes.
on their
Oh,
list
yeah.
of books they weren't allowed
Banned
to have,
books.
banned books, and so Rich owns a comic shop in Knoxville, and they said that any student that wanted could get a free copy of Mouse, and they sent out thousands of free
I bet.
copies to people all over Tennessee because of that.
Yeah,
It's
anytime
pretty
you tell
awesome.
kids something's off limits,
Mhm.
they're gonna grasp
They're-
for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I feel like you have a lot to say about Mouse.
Mouse is great. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to join us next Saturday, you're more than welcome.
Okay, yeah. If I'm
Okay.
if
Oh
I'm
no, we
free,
got the
count me
room.
in.
I
Yeah.
I pay, so we got extra room.
Oh.
I'm one of the weird people who pay the $25 a month so I can have 10 people.
nice.
Oh, I almost forgot. Something I did want to mention because it's a movie show, and
Yeah, I feel like we got on comics too much. I'm a little out of my depth here.
This
No,
is kind of our thing though. Like
And I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
But let's talk about easily one of the most unique, a director with one of the most unique visions in the history of film. It is his birthday today, John Waters.
yes.
Oh yeah.
And that, I mean, his movies, I think, had a big impact on my life because I saw Pink Flamingos when I was like 11 or 12 years old, and I think that
even the hairspray
shaped to the person I am today. Yeah,
hairspray was
hairspray. But yeah, but I remember my
Pink Flamingos was divine.
Divine.
Yes.
Not just Divine, but Divine eating dog shit off the sidewalk. Divine. And I remember because my mom is a huge John Waters fan, and I remember me and my brother, and my friend. She was like, you know, this like my brother was probably 10 years old at the time, and she's like, I probably shouldn't let you guys watch this movie, but okay, go ahead. And yeah, I've never seen anything like it, and just his movies in general, desperate living.
John Waters is the modern day Ed Wood, kind of.
Yeah.
Which I will say, the Ed Wood movie by Tim Burton. I'm not a Tim Burton fan.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Definitely. I love Ed Wood. But yeah, John Waters, like there's just no one else really like him. His he's hard to define, that's for sure. Uh,
A movie I'm kind of waiting on. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. The Devil in the White City.
Oh,
what's
dude,
that?
I would love to see a great film adaptation of that.
So it's a book written about the serial killer during the World's Fair in Chicago. And it's been kicked around for years. The book is fantastic, but they can't seem to get the movie happening.
Wasn't Scorsese or no? Maybe it was Leonardo DiCaprio was gonna play him for a while, wasn't he?
At one point, Keanu Reeves is attached right now. Which, I mean, look, I love the story of it. If Keanu can get it made, great.
Yeah. Yeah, that story is just fascinating. So fascinating.
Apparently, Keanu has signed on for some Marvel project. We don't know
That's kind of interesting. I know Keanu for a while. Like, it was Akira he was signed up. Or no. I think it was Leonardo for Akira, which would be terrible.
God, I just want Alita Battle Angel 2 from Robert Rodriguez. That's all I want.
Well, Avatar is supposed to come out by Christmas.
Yeah, I don't.
So
care
we'll
about
see if that
Avatar,
actually happens.
I can go down the drain as far as I'm concerned.
I'm curious. Like,
Blue people.
There is a curiosity to me to see, like, because James Cameron's a director. If he puts something out, I'll go watch it just because technically I know it's going to be brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I hated The Abyss, but The Abyss was at the time a movie that could not be made.
Right.
That's Devil in the White City is going to be a TV series. That actually tracks for me. It makes sense. We have George R. R. Martin's new Game of Thrones series coming out, which is the prequels. It's like a couple of 100 years before.
Yeah.
Alita Battle Angel, I think, is one of the more underrated movies I've watched in the last 4 years.
Absolutely.
It cost some steam, though. I really liked the trailer for that.
You haven't seen it yet?
It's a movie. Yeah, no, it's a movie. I just that kind of I totally forgot about.
I think you'd dig it.
That. Yeah,
I believe it's on Amazon Instant right now.
Okay.
It's a movie that, in every way, it should have failed, and it kind of did. But I don't think they knew how to market it.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that bothers me more than anything else is the fact they didn't know how to market it.
I think I saw it the last weekend in the theater because, was that around when Movie Pass came out?
Yes.
Because I think I had like a free Movie Pass to use or something. I'm like, oh, screw it, I'm gonna go see it. And they definitely didn't market it well.
In IMAX, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
that was the way to see it. If you've got a great 4K TV at home,
I wonder who has one of those.
It'll be passable. The sound system makes a huge difference.
Yeah, the sound on that is magnificent. Definitely.
And that's another thing with movies I think gets kind of passed over is the sound on a movie. Because Kingdom of Heaven by Ridley Scott, the theater version was not great, but the sound and the score was fantastic by Harry Gregson Williams.
Yeah, for I guess more recent movies, I mean Christopher Nolan always has fantastic sound. Jeez. I mean he's one of the best in terms of paying attention to that. That like it's not a it's just as important an aspect to his films as anything else is the sound. That's very clear, especially watching something like what the hell is it called?
Dunkirk was the one. The
Dunkirk.
sound made
Oh,
so
yeah.
much difference to me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable, absolutely. Oh, have you guys seen? It's not Christopher Nolan, but 1917.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that in IMAX.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Denis Villeneuve's a guy I think is in that Nolan thing where everything has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, like I watched the extras for the new Dune movie of what Hans Zimmer went through to get the sound.
That guy, man.
And it was kind of amazing. And again, like Denis Villeneuve as a filmmaker, I want to say he's our modern day Ridley Scott.
I could see that. Yeah.
I think he's a little bit better, but that's just my opinion.
But he's got Roger Deakins as his DP,
True.
though. So, like, Roger Deakins is fucking amazing.
Did you ever see Polytechnic?
No.
Drac, I'd be surprised if you
that was
haven't.
with the Massacre, right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God! Like it's a smaller film, but that was one of Denis' first, and holy shit, dude! Like that just blew me away when I saw that.
Sicario is
Sicario
awesome.
was
so
I
good.
fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack, cinematography. Just the second one was okay.
No, it's the first Sicario, especially with Emily Blunt getting the shit beat out of her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was scary real, that first one. So.
And again, the dude from God, why am I blanking on his name? He was in No Country for Old Men. Javier Bardem.
Oh yeah.
Fucking scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy is creepy and scary. He also had a small role in Collateral with Tom Cruise and Club.
One of those
Tom
Cruise
movies. He was creepy and scary in that too.
Yeah.
That's one of those Tom Cruise movies I think people overlook quite a bit.
Oh, for sure it is. Yeah, because I remember when. So I'm not going to tell that story, but I will say that came out when I had to walk to the theater for reasons. But anyway, so yeah, I remember walking to see that. I think it was fall or winter time. And I was just like, fuck it, whatever. And man, I just was blown away walking back home after seeing that movie.
Jamie Foxx is one of those actors where I think he can give good performances, but I don't get it consistently. Sometimes
he kind of plays a caricature of himself. I think that comes from In Living Color a little bit. But yeah, when he gets zoned in, he gives great performances for sure.
For me, his best performance is Django.
Which weird because Leonardo DiCaprio, his performance in there is so over the top, you start to forget about other performances.
Yeah.
And then like Samuel L. Jackson's performance in that, Jesus Christ.
I know. But Jamie Foxx is great in that movie.
He is. Really is. But he's got a powerhouse of people in there with him where like their performances are kind of almost overshadowing him.
A little bit.
And Christoph Waltz.
Jeez.
I mean, I hate that they tried to make him a main star because he's a great character actor. And his whole career could be just great character actor. And I thought that was part of the problem with Spectre. They made him the star where he...
We'll disagree on that one.
Actor.
I liked Spectre a lot.
Well, no, I liked Spectre, but I think as the villain, he's a better character actor. Donald Pleasance is, I guess, which they're playing the same character, but I think he's the baseline for Christoph Waltz. Because that opening to what's the Tarantino World War II movie? Inglourious Bastards.
Oh yeah,
that opening with him in that farmhouse,
just unbelievable.
Is fantastic.
Yeah.
Mark Strong is a great character actor.
That's the guy from the Kingsman, right?
Yeah, he was
Or-
in that. He was in
yeah.
a couple of other movies. Even Jason Statham, I thought was a great character actor in those old Guy Ritchie movies
Dude, I
that
still
they decided to make a
great.
star of.
And I can't believe you haven't, or maybe you saw it, but you haven't watched it recently. But the remake of The Italian Job, it's not really a remake because it's totally different. But
Mm-hmm.
You put Mark Wahlberg in a movie, it becomes different.
great. It's Mark Wahlberg. It's Marky Mark. I mean, come on.
Good
Those are like comfort movies for me, like
Yes.
horror movies. For me, like crime and heist movies, and those are like, it doesn't matter if it's good or
Oh
not.
my
I will watch it always.
Please don't highlight Gore's comment because that's definitely winding me up right now. As much as I love Matt Reeves, he is not the next.
So Rashid, Nolan, and again, like if you haven't watched The Prestige in the last 10 years,
oh my god,
go back and watch it.
I do need
with
to
fresh eyes.
That.
Yeah.
I know it's a good movie.
John joined us for it, and we all kind of picked up stuff that we didn't notice the first time watching.
Yeah, I mean, even I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, yeah, it was really good. But like, I think it's basically a decade later. I was just like, holy shit. How is this not like talked about more? So
Plus,
good.
Michael Caine, maybe the underrated actor of the last 20 years. But he became a character actor later in life, and I think that might have been his strong suit.
Yeah.
Although he was in one of the greatest, worst horror movies I've ever been in, that I've ever seen, The Hand. Where his hand gets
seen that.
His hand
You
gets
brought
chopped
that up
off.
before, I think.
His hand gets chopped off in a car accident and starts killing people. It's fucking horrible, but and then Jaws 4 is the most god awful movie I've ever watched. And like he's there at the Oscars for Hannah and her sisters, and they start asking him questions about things like, by all means, it's a horrible movie, but I saw the house it bought and it's magnificent. Which is the greatest Michael Caine answer you could ever have.
Yeah,
and
it is.
He might be the backbone of the entire Nolan Batman series, to be honest.
Oh, stop it.
No, really, he is strong in that series.
Drac, have you seen Psycho Gorman? You need to watch that. It's so good. I have
not seen Psycho
so
Gorman.
Good.
It's basically a Power Rangers episode, but about villains.
Oh, it's just it's interesting, man. It's so interesting.
And a little girl controls him because she found the gem that controls him.
Well, speaking of movie news, I wanted to see what you think about this, since you guys may sort of be into it. They're making Equalizer 3. Denzel just signed on for that.
I love part 1. I didn't need a 2 or 3.
Yeah, part 1 was great. Part 2 was... I remember seeing that in the theater with my best friend, who's like huge Denzel, like just lover, and it was okay, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of forgettable, but I still bought it because I'm a completist. But yeah, the first one's way, way better.
I'd recommend anybody watch Fallen.
Oh, Fallen's so good. So underrated. So underwatched. A lot of people haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it.
You need to watch it, Drac. You would like it.
I don't think... Is that Denzel?
It's borderline. I wouldn't call it horror, but it's like
psychological horror.
Yeah.
It's like a Fincher movie almost, but not quite.
Yeah, it's what would you call that?
It came out after 7. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually put it in the realm of like the supposed good A24 horror movies, like what's that garbage that came out recently that everybody loved? Dang it, I can't remember.
What the fuck?
80s Equalizer. He brought that up last time. I think we talked about that.
Well, 80s Equalizer was
they filmed it somewhere where I don't know. I can't remember. Gore knows, but Hereditary. It's
Yeah.
kind of like along those lines, sort of.
I love Hereditary.
It's kind of spiritual, religious, like, yeah.
Fallen.
I like the
Okay.
first 2 acts of Hereditary. It was really good.
Is it as good as The Bone Collector?
I like the Bone. I
like the Bone Collector,
Yeah.
but Fallen is better than Bone Collector in my opinion.
I mean, The Bone Collector is
It's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Yeah,
And that's a weird
great
role for
movie,
Denzel.
but-
He's like laying in that bed the whole time.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
And then you got a young Angelina Jolie who actually did
That's
some
right.
decent acting in that movie. Not bad.
I mean, that was like literally right after Kiss the Girls came out, so everybody was trying to mine the same genre.
Yep. And then
Rashid.
I believe The Cell came out not too long after.
The Cell.
Yeah.
That I weirdly kind of like that one a little bit.
It's not horrible. Like
It's
there's
not
a
horrible,
great
but I
premise.
don't know if it holds up anymore. But it's still.
I think I watched it last year. Yeah, I don't know. if it
Fucking Taylor's
holds
got
up,
the
but-
movie.
Bone Tomahawk
horror
was
movie-
pretty good.
A horror movie that's not a horror movie.
It wasn't as good as everybody was saying, but it was definitely pretty good. That was Kurt Russell, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
The immortal Kurt Russell.
The Immortal. Yes, Ignacio, time is on my side. The Cell. That was with Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yes.
J-Lo, and
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn, wasn't it?
J-Lo and
Yes.
yeah, Vince Vaughn.
D'Onofrio is one of those actors.
He was creepy as
Yeah,
fucking.
really
He's
creepy
made a
in
good career out of what he's played.
Yeah.
Mhm.
His Kingpin is like top notch.
I liked it a lot.
Absolutely.
And
Season-
Full Metal Jacket, he as Pyle. Great.
What is this Mickey Mouse bullshit?
And again, like the scariest character ever was the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket,
Oh yeah, Arlie
Arlie
Ermy.
Ermy.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Mhm.
who was also in one of the funniest movies I ever watched. Was the one with Steve Zahn and is it Jason Biggs.
Oh,
With
what was that?
the whole
called?
9 yards.
Oh, never mind.
I'm not sure.
No, that was Whole 9 Yards is Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry.
Oh wait,
Or maybe you're thinking The Longest Yard, maybe? I don't know.
it had Amanda Peet in it.
No, I think that was Whole 9 Yards. I think she was in that.
Bruce Willis has been in 144 fucking movies.
Jesus. Wow.
Although the
Bruce
Death
Willis.
Wish remake was not a great one.
Ignacio, The Cell did have excellent visuals, like that scene when the glass comes down with the horse and then it separates the horse into parts. You can see.
Yes.
Dude, the visuals in
Side
that
of it.
movie were just insane.
Mhm.
That was one of the first movies like where the visuals just like blew me away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember how old I was when I saw that. Probably too young. But yeah, I liked the Whole 9 Yards. It was fun. It was good. I didn't like the sequel, but that much. But I was a huge Matthew Perry and Bruce Willis fan, so of course I liked it.
Was the sequel?
Oh, Saving
called-
Silverman. Is that what
Saving
you're thinking?
Silverman. Yes, that's the one.
Taylor
I
got
think
it.
I think I've seen that.
I only saw that once. It's been a long time. But I couldn't, I remember that, but not the name of it.
Whole 9 Yards was fun, but yeah, Saving Silverman was the weird one with the guy from.
Speaking of Steve Zahn, Joyride with Paul Walker.
Yes,
That is a little known, like, classic, I think, as far as, like, B kind of horror.
Candy Cane.
Oh, my God. One of my
No.
best friends who passed in, like, 2004, that was, like, his favorite movie for the longest time. So good.
Yes, Jack Black and Arlie Ermy become lovers at the end of the movie.
Jesus. That's quite the pair. Jeez.
They were talking about best Tom Cruise performances on Twitter. Weirdly, Rob Liefeld started this conversation.
Best Tom Cruise performances.
And A Few Good Men was not mentioned in his performances. And
that's up there.
If that was...
Why not?
So,
anytime you're up against Jack Nicholson, like...
Yeah.
Dude, oddly enough, I was watching a behind the scenes... Someone from that movie, I believe it was Kiefer Sutherland. But so Bruce Willis wasn't even in that fucking movie. He showed up on set to watch Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise go at it in the court scene. Bruce Willis did, just randomly to watch that. This is classic, man.
Yeah.
And they Kiefer Sutherland said that's the only time where he's been acting where he witnessed the staff and all the actors and everything give a standing ovation at the end of when they cut for the day. I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yes, I ordered that code blue.
Code red.
Code red. You can't handle the truth. I mean, that whole back and forth was fucking fantastic. And again,
so amazing.
Cruise gets shit, but he has some great performances scattered throughout his career.
He does.
Jack Nicholson. If you haven't watched Chinatown,
yeah,
it's been a long time.
You owe it to yourself to watch it.
Yeah.
So I guess Rob Reiner, they did 2 takes on Jack Nicholson's part, and after the second one, Rob Reiner just said, "Well, it's not going to get any better than that," and that was it.
Yeah,
and that's fair.
Pro.
Like, yeah, Nicholson. He, much like how I say about Nick Cage, you're gonna get what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And by legend, I mean this is the same guy who Nicholson. Someone showed up to his house, and he's like on the intercom to his house, going, "Take your top off."
Huh?
And he had the, "If you ring the bell, you better. If you ring, you better be ready to swing."
Oh, Irreversible.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Irreversible is a tough movie to watch.
Yes,
but I love Monica Bellucci though. I just love her.
Irreversible.
Irreversible is so disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple scenes in that movie absolutely disturbing.
It is brilliant. I just don't know if I could watch it again.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can either.
So the French version of Martyrs.
I still need to watch that. Damn it!
One of the hardest movies I've watched, and I watched it. I'll never watch it again.
Yeah,
because
Martyrs, I agree. Yeah.
Once the end is ruined for you, and the only thing I can ever say, if you ever watch the video version of Radiohead's "Just," it's the same theory of these people are whispering what this guy on the floor said, and they all stop dropping dead or falling to the ground.
Oh, like The Happening?
Better.
Oh.
But it's all foreign, and that's the problem. Like, people are like, "Oh, subtitles, I don't want to watch this." They put an American version of it, and it's so much lesser.
I'm so glad about, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I got over my I don't want to read while I'm at the movies crap, because some of the best films and experiences I've had watching film have been foreign films with the subtitles. So, and it's just surprised the hell out of me, but every time it's awesome.
So. Yeah, Ignacio, Martyrs is one of those movies in the horror community. You watch it, it fucks with your head for a couple of hours, and you don't want to watch it again.
Ooh,
and not in the like what the fuck is it? Human Centipede kind of way.
Ugh.
It's not that kind of movie.
Did you see Malignant? Was that any good?
It's all right.
Yeah. Because half the people really raved about it, and then the other half were like, eh.
It's in that weird Blumhouse like middle ground of like it's an art film, but I don't think it's that artful.
Really?
And I weirdly have that thing with It Follows where everybody talked about how fucking brilliant it was, and I'm like,
love it. Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. The soundtrack is one of the coolest fucking soundtracks I have.
I only saw that once. I feel like I need to rewatch it.
It Follows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will watch The Guest 100,000 times over that.
I watched It Follows 3 times in the first month I had it. So, yeah.
It was that and The Babadook came out within 3 months of each
I
other.
like the Babadook too.
Babadook's good. Yeah.
I wanted to fucking take a hammer to that little kid's fucking head. I hate that fucking kid. He made me root for him to die.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt that the first time I watched it.
I did watch Antlers by Guillermo del Toro.
I haven't seen that.
Interesting. Yet. It's a Wendigo movie, and it's very much a deep Del Toro movie, but I feel like it kind of lacked the emotion that some of his older movies did.
Oh.
And I love Del Toro. Like, his creativeness is fantastic. 100% Pan's Labyrinth is possibly one of my favorite movies I've ever watched.
I still need to watch that too.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen was the big art gallery here. They had the exhibit of Guillermo del Toro's like personal collection, right, of his art and props and stuff. Incredible, just it was mind.
Dude, I love that guy. I may not always like his movies, but I love that guy. I respect that guy a shit ton.
Yeah.
So
it was just one of the single best collections of things I've ever seen. It was amazing. Yeah, he's got good taste.
Thoughts.
Is that the one with her and Aaron Paul when they were both alcoholics? Because if so, I did see that. Okay, Del Toro produced Antlers. So Terrence Stamp, I think one of the best movies I've seen him in was The Limey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Limey was really good.
Which I believe is one of John's favorite movies. Yeah, The Limey was great. And Terrence Stamp, another one of those guys from the 70s, I don't think got the credit because he was in everything. He always played bad guys too.
Yes.
I also get into that weird Guy Ritchie realm where I respect the way he does things on low budget. I don't think everything kind of pans out correctly.
Guy Ritchie. That's a topic all of itself.
Mm-hmm. Ignacio, you must be looking forward to Pinocchio because didn't you used to be a little wooden boy?
He did. He used to be a little wooden boy.
He came to life. Yeah.
That's why he brought it up. He wanted someone to get acknowledge that.
I was just a little wooden boy. Don't forget.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about now. Yes.
Deprogrammed from being in a cult, huh?
Speaking of being in a cult, the Going Clear documentary on HBO about being part of Scientology.
Yeah.
I recommend anybody watch that 5-hour doc.
Definitely.
Is that with what's her face?
Leah Remini,
that's
everybody
different.
else.
Yeah.
I forget who the guy who did the documentary. He's another person who left the Scientology, but it's on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Between that and the Chernobyl documentary on there, or biopic, two of the best things you can watch on there.
Dude, that Chernobyl one was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then go watch The Wire because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You can watch Sopranos, it's better.
You can watch that too.
Yeah.
Like, they're both on the same time, and then at the same time also Carnival was on. Which Carnival was weird as fuck.
If you're gonna watch The Wire and Sopranos, you might as well watch Oz also.
Yes. Just for J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
J.K.
So good in that. Schillinger.
Which, I mean, J.K.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
I that might be one of my favorite movies of the past 8 years.
Yeah, it was excellent.
And I don't like the kid who was in it who played Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie, but in that movie, just how broken he is by the end. But I I've never finished Sons of Anarchy.
The last couple seasons were, I don't know, but
I got till they went to
overall,
Ireland and I stopped.
Overall, it's good stuff. I think
you
my
know
comfort stuff is sci-fi. Sorry, Drac, go ahead.
I started watching shows from a few years ago.
X-Files?
No, I've seen X-Files many
Yes.
times.
The
Taboo with Tom Hardy.
Oh,
Have you seen it?
yes.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's
Is
good.
it pretty good?
Yeah, it is really good.
Speaking of Peaky Blinders final season, he comes back, so
Yeah, I need to catch up on that as well.
I will recommend Cursed Films on Shudder. The first episode was fucking Wizard of Oz for this season.
I haven't seen that.
interesting.
I mean, I've seen Wizard of Oz. I haven't seen.
So Cursed Films is a documentary series they do about films that had supposed cursed sets. Season 1 had The Exorcist.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Poltergeist. The Twilight Zone the movie, and The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so they're literally talking about like cursed movie sets and things.
Yes.
Like that. Yeah.
In particular, season 1, the Crow one was very, very hard to watch.
I bet.
They explain fully what happened with Brandon Lee, and it becomes very angering.
Did they do The Omen?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Season 1 was Exorcist, The Omen, Poltergeist, The Crow, and Twilight Zone the movie. Season 2, Wizard of Oz and Rosemary's Baby. Episode 3 is Stalker. Okay, yes, Tom Hardy can act with his eyes. Yes, Dunkirk.
Mm-hmm.
Dunkirk in particular, like, I felt more than The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, absolutely. I lumped that in there because I like Bane.
Dunkirk in particular, the sound engineering in it is better than any movie I've seen.
Did you watch the behind the scenes on when they did the flying stuff?
I didn't.
Fucking unbelievable, man. Nolan just goes above and beyond. I don't think there may have been some background CGI, but like pretty much all of that was practical. Just unbelievable. That's why that's why the dogfighting stuff was so good, because it felt real, you know.
Tom Hardy is one of those guys I think is one of the great solo performers. I will give a hell of a lot of credit. I don't know if you guys saw Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Oh yeah,
I didn't watch it, but
I did.
Yeah,
like his dedication to what he was given. And Guy Pearce in Memento was another one where, like, I felt it was a powerhouse performance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of actresses I've seen in movies where I've thought their performances very much was better than everything around them. Tilda Swinton in that Constantine movie was better than anything else in that movie.
What the hell? What did they end up calling that Al Pacino or Al Capone biopic he did?
Capone.
Well, was it just Capone?
Yeah,
I thought they changed it from Alphonse to, I don't know. They changed it.
I think it was just Capone.
Dude, that movie,
Yeah.
like, a lot of mainstream people obviously aren't going to like it because it's the last few years of Capone's life, and he's not the big, mafioso bootlegger boss that everybody kind of imagines in their head. But holy crap, was it a character study? I don't know if either of you have seen it, but
I saw it.
so
Bale
good.
and the Machinist. Yes, Bale was basically killing himself slowly.
That was gross.
Didn't he bulk up right after for
for Batman?
Yeah.
He put on. So I just watched that interview too. He put on like 60 pounds, and then actually when he got on set, like people were like, "We're doing Batman, not Fat Man," because apparently he looked like too big. But
and then again going the opposite direction in Vice.
Oh yeah.
That was a really good movie.
And like I still the newest Batman, the transformation of Colin Farrell into Penguin,
Unbelievable.
seeing the amount of makeup they had to put on him too in those behind the scenes.
If you weren't told that was Colin Farrell, I bet 80% to 90% of people wouldn't guess that it was him.
No, probably
For sure.
not.
Oh, don't be shooing us off, Dan.
I'm not. I just got a fucking message. Jesus Christ. John.
Wait, I leave for a bit. And... I mean, come on, John. We're talking about movies. I mean, and good movies. So of course, he's got to come up, right? I mean, we're not talking about the Batman tonight, so.
I will say, like, Matt Reeves surprised me coming back and making a Fincher movie. If everybody's because I mean, I still haven't watched Manhunter by Fincher, and I really need to go ahead and do that. Like, I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I don't.
But Ignacio, it's so much easier. So
Yeah.
I have a question for you too. Since I got asked this the other day at work, and I wasn't quite sure what to say. I just told him to kind of watch the first 20 minutes and decide for himself. But this guy at work was like, "Hey, do you think my kids could watch the Batman? They're like 4 and 6 or something." And I was like, I don't know. It's PG-13, but the first 20 minutes are the darkest. I think
you're talking to the wrong fucking person.
So I was like, I don't know. Like, you decide, dude. I'm not going to tell you. What do you think, Drac?
I think it might be a little boring, frankly.
Yeah, they probably would think it's boring.
And long and slow. Yeah.
Oh, Manhunter is such a good slow burn.
See, now if they had gone the route of, say, something like episode 1 and start the movie off with trade negotiations, that's what kids are into.
You just get some animatronic characters
Kids
and
are into these days.
Probably bad for a kid, but again, my mom had me watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I don't know why he asked me. I'm like,
I'll be right back.
Sweet, I'm in charge.
Yes, finally. I was about to get up and get some ice, but then it's just gonna be you on here. So
I mean, I can hold it down, but I'd rather not. I'd rather hang out with you.
I'll wait. My drink can stay warm for a little bit.
Actually, I was gonna say, like, so I bought a special bottle for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried a sip of it before. I usually try it neat before I add ice or do anything to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I actually put ice in the glass and then poured it. And I was like, ooh, maybe I should try it neat first. And so I just took a little sip out of the bottle, and it was amazing. Then I tried it with the ice in the glass, and it was like it kind of killed it. So I'm actually waiting for the ice to melt, and I'm gonna drink the water and then pour just neat. So it's really good though.
What is it you're drinking?
It is the Balvenie 15 year
okay
single barrel sherry cask. I was like gonna just get something like cheap, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, 1 year anniversary and this week's been shit, so yeah, let's just go all out tonight.
I'm going to be bold. I hated The Neverending Story. I fucking hated that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either.
I mean, I grew up with Nightmare on Elm Street, so I'm definitely not the person to recommend for kids.
Then again, like, I was the kid who was like watching Labyrinth going, who is that attractive brown-haired girl who's never fucking like looks like she aged?
Jennifer Connelly, just amazing. I love her.
Rocketeer, still like, whew. Ooh, cat people.
Are you talking about cats? Or
Natasha Kinski.
Kinski. Yeah.
Yeah, the 80s were nice. I still remember watching American Werewolf in London with Jenny Agutter. And then, like, in high school, I was watching that Romeo and Juliet movie she was in. I was like, it's the girl from American Werewolf London, drunk. I'm not drunk, but
Is that
naked.
the old Romeo and Juliet movie that they show in like high
the
school
one in the
and shit?
70s, yes, where she gets topless. I was like, oh, she's beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie, that was amazing for a young teenage Carlito.
Yes, and I was like, yeah, it was kind of surprising. I was just like, we're showing this in high school, right? Okay, cool.
Yep, I was like, this is perfect for high school. It's awesome.
Oh, excuse me, it wasn't Jenny Agutter. It was the girl from Black Christmas. The French girl.
I still don't know her name. I don't really care.
Yeah. I'm not Mr. Skin. I don't know this shit off the top of my head. I'm not even gonna look it up. Anyway. Oh, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. You're at
almost
2-hour
mark. That's too bad. It's a 1-year anniversary. Let's go 3.
Weirdly enough, I pulled out a movie that I like more than most, The Wraith with Charlie Sheen, where he's killed and comes back in a souped-up car and kills people.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
I was on a kick with cursed car movies. Christine by John Carpenter is a top of my list one. Weirdly enough, John Carpenter has a couple of movies that I think people sleep
Isn't there
on.
one Stephen King did too?
It's based off a Stephen King movie or a Stephen King book. Christine.
Oh, was that the same one? Okay.
Yeah, John Carpenter filmed it. There's also a book called movie Mouth of Madness that John Carpenter directed.
Yeah.
We're basically
Go ahead. I'm just talking.
The main character was basically Stephen King, where everybody loves this writer Sutter Kane.
Now, was that a Stephen King story?
It wasn't. It was basically him kind of goofing on Stephen King.
Stephen King. Okay. Yeah.
And it was filmed in Wisconsin. No, Canada. It was actually filmed. But there was a guy there.
Okay.
Johnny Boy.
Yeah. Johnny Boy. Yeah.
I was thinking of Maximum Overdrive.
No, Stephen King directed that high on cocaine.
That's right. Yep.
Someone gave.
That's why I was thinking.
Someone decided to give him a budget and let him direct Maximum Overdrive, and like later on, he did a commentary. He's like, "Yeah, you know, when you're high on cocaine, you make a lot of decisions you shouldn't have, and me directing a movie was probably the worst."
And isn't Maximum Overdrive like the most cocaine-fueled title for a movie?
Oh, yes, it has to be
100%. And Emilio Estevez is your main actor. Yardley Smith from The Simpsons, who plays Lisa Simpson's one of them.
Nice.
And John Carpenter apparently didn't get along with Stephen King,
what?
So that's why on Creepshow, I think it was
Sam Neill.
Yes, Sam Neill is fantastic in that movie. It's such a weird meta movie. It's right up there with They Live with like weird meta stuff, except without Keith David and Roddy Piper getting into a fight.
The best street fight in the history of cinema.
100%. When South Park mocks it with a cripple fight, you're in there. Yes, Sam Neill was amazing. I'm not the biggest Sam Neill fan, but in particular, I thought
Sam
it was
Neill
a strong movie.
Did y'all see the new Jurassic World trailer?
I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm not interested either.
All right. Well, that's our show, guys.
I'm not a huge Jurassic fan. Like,
oh man,
I liked the first one.
Yeah.
And then it was diminishing returns after that. And then
that first one just changed cinema, man.
Fallen really Kingdom, I just didn't.
Oh, Fallen Kingdom is. I think it's the worst in the series, but
I mean, there's no worse sequel than the Independence Day sequel, Reserved.
I haven't seen that.
If I'd been in the theater by myself, I would have either walked out or taken a nap because that's what I wanted to do when I was
Pacific
stuck
Rim
in there.
2 also like a sequel that never had to happen.
Yes, Ignacio. Always Jurassic Park movies forever until I die. That's all I'm going to say. That's how I feel about that.
See, someone's got taste.
Yeah.
Oh, man. John does not have taste. Do not pump his ego up any more than it already is. Jeez. God.
I mean, it can only be better with George Clooney in it.
His girls have taste. John just has opinions. They don't matter.
Listen, I'm still scarred over one of his daughters showing up when Jen and I were doing one of our weekly shows without John present.
You'll never forget that, will you?
No, like literally, I saw her comment. I was like,
"Oh man,
Jen, please, God, stop! Whatever is about to come out of your mouth, please stop." I mean, Jen literally did a half hour on Cyclops always being the bottom and whatever Dom sub thing that happens with Wolverine and Jean and all of them.
I have not seen a sequel to Donnie Darko. That would be weird.
Oh no, S. Darko came out and it was fucking horrible.
And then the Butterfly Effect, I have not seen that.
I didn't need to see the sequel to that because
I saw Butterfly Effect. Yeah, that is not a good movie.
It's not? Okay.
There was a part 2.
That's the Ashton Kutcher one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like American Psycho. They made a sequel to that, and there never needed to be a sequel.
No.
My wife was saying Butterfly Effect is a great movie.
Oh. Well, you know what? Now I'm going to have to watch it.
No.
I
She
respectfully
said it's
disagree.
not that bad, but I don't know. Yeah.
So, like, there are movies that, like, aren't that bad, but they're not good either, though.
Yeah, it's true.
You're wrong, John. You can just stop talking, please. Just go away. I would say, okay, I'll give you that. If you put the Batman in there, that's pretty equal to Jurassic Park 3, I think. So,
like, I think out of all the Crichton stuff, my favorite is 13th Warrior with Antonio Banderas. And I think it's only because it's basically telling the story of Grendel again, but just through, like, a whole Norse mythology. Antonio Banderas has been in a lot of horrible movies too, because he was in that fucking movie with Stallone. Was it Assassins? Ooh.
Yeah,
like
that
literally
sounds familiar. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh God, Stallone. I think it's Sharon Stone was it. He's like, I was the best. Yeah. Oh God, there's a point in time where Stallone was just like, "Oh fuck, are you paying me? Okay."
So did he supposedly have a stroke at one point? I'm hearing they kind of hid it for a while.
He might have. Thank you.
I can't remember if I've seen that or not.
It's a great movie, and oh God,
I've seen 13 Ghosts.
That was all right.
That was okay.
13th
Warrior.
Oh God, who the fuck was it was Lawrence of Arabia. That actor was in it as the guide for Antonio Banderas. God damn it.
I don't know why this just popped in my head, but have either of you two seen The House of Sand and Fog?
No. Peter O'Toole. Yes, thank you.
You haven't seen that track?
I have not.
Oh man, I just remember that hitting me pretty hard. Peter. Ghost Cities. Where's that at? What's that? 13th Warrior?
13 Ghosts.
Oh, 13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts.
And listen, Shannon Elizabeth at that time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Looking back, I'm not really sure why she was. Guess it doesn't really matter.
I mean, we watched American Pie.
Yeah, but brutal in a good way, not like brutal like the Batman.
Omar Sharif, not Peter O'Toole.
Oh, yeah. Right.
The Sweet Hereafter and Ice Storm.
Ice Storm was good.
I gotta start writing this shit down.
Oh, Sweet Hereafter, that's Adam McGoyan, right? Canadian director.
Oh,
Ian Holmes, Sarah Polley.
Yeah. Sweet Hereafter is about like a school bus crash.
Bus crash, yes.
ugh. I just think of was it Nightmare on Elm Street 3 when Freddy drives the bus off the
2.
Is it 2?
Yes.
Oh,
God
Freddy,
damn, I hate that I know that so fast.
horrible. Oh god.
Weirdly, one of my favorite Canadian movies I ever watched was Ginger Snaps.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie. That is, yeah.
Very good werewolf movie that actually had like the female change into womanhood.
I feel like
tied
you
into
mentioned
it.
this before.
What's that?
I think you mentioned that before.
I don't think I've talked about it often because it does. Werewolf movies don't come up that
We
often.
talked
But
about werewolf films for a while though.
that
I
is
liked,
a top one.
Underworld a lot. I'm not gonna lie. The first one. And I actually liked the whole half lichen, half vampire thing. I thought that was cool.
The problem is when your main actress is married to the director.
Oh, get over it.
You don't think that's a problem? Because Paul W.S. Anderson with those
No,
Resident Evil movies.
I get it. I get it. I just thought, who's the guy that played the half lichen, half where? What was his name? He was kind of big for a while. Scott Speedman. Yeah, he was big for a while. Then he just kind of
because he was coming from Felicity of all fucking things.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Ginger Snaps. All right, that's got to be added on my list too.
Oh god, I made a mistake of looking at Ian Holmes' filmography. Holy shit.
Argentinian. I thought you were Brazilian, Ignacio. You just blew my mind.
It's been lying this whole time.
It's been hoodwinking us.
Yeah.
God, Ian Holmes got a lot of fucking credits. Like a lot.
Yes.
From Hell, Lord of the Rings, Garden State,
That's right. Yeah.
Day After Tomorrow, The Aviator, Lord of War with Sir Nicholas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know if I just forgot, but I think
Ratatouille.
Recently. Nolan actually got the Batman Begins job because Scorsese did The Aviator and Nolan was going to do his own Hughes pick. And then after that, he's like, well, I'm going to have to find something else. And so that's how he got Batman Begins.
I'm still in that weird phase of.
Yeah, I'm glad too, for sure.
I would have loved to see that Darren Aronofsky Batman version.
Maybe.
Because that was right after they tried to do. It was right after the heroin movie he did.
Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream, yeah. Like they were gonna give him that after that. I was just like,
they were gonna give him Batman after that.
Yes,
okay.
He was gonna do year one.
Wow.
So I'm like hit or miss with him. I really like The Fountain a lot.
Fountain was a movie that I think was too highbrow for the time to do.
What? No. I mean, he may have been a little ahead of his time, but
like Rachel Weisz. Whew.
Then again, I used to be a hopeless romantic, so I'll have to go back and watch that and see. Now that I'm a cold-hearted SOB, I might not care as much.
I still love Pi. His first movie I really liked.
Yeah, Pi was good.
The Aronofsky, like Requiem for a Dream, was so hard to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yes. I've never watched it again since the first time I watched it.
All right, I'm moving to Argentina. Fuck America. Hang out with Ignacio. We're gonna watch The Fountain all the time, and we're gonna look at porn comics. It's gonna be sweet.
That's it.
Gonna read Milo Manara comics.
Black Swan was hard to watch too. Did he do that?
Yes, it was interesting.
It
was interesting. It was well done.
But honestly, I would recommend the Suspiria remake over Black Swan.
Ooh, the remake.
I need to watch that still. Is it good?
I love the original. I don't think I could. I don't know.
I thought they did. I mean, Tilda Swinton's in it, and I didn't love the girl from 60 or
50 Shades.
50 Shades, but she was actually good in it. Like, there is some brutal fucking shit in this movie that I don't think they could have gotten away with back then. And I thought it did the original, like, it stayed true enough, but made its changes to make it its own.
Maybe I'll add that to my list.
It's on Prime Instant, so if you got Prime, it's worth watching. I did a review on it.
So what's this Prime Instant you keep plugging? What's the difference between that and just
if you have Amazon Prime, you automatically get Prime Instant.
But like just fancy name or what?
No, it's just the free stuff that you can get from their movie app.
Oh, I got you. All right.
Favorite remakes.
Ooh, that's a good question. Damn.
There's not many.
It's not Rob Zombie's Halloween. I can tell you fucking that.
No, that's for sure.
Oh, I love that question, John. That's perfect.
There are some good ones, but of course I can't think of them now.
100%. The first one that will come to my mind is actually The Evil Dead 2013.
I haven't seen.
I will go with, since it's technically a remake, The Departed.
Yeah.
Gore, slow down. I'm waiting for Dan to finish. I would say The Batman is a remake of 7. It was pretty good.
It kind of is, yeah. Evil Dead 2 is kind of a remake, but it's because they lost the rights to everything that happened in Evil Dead 1. They switched companies every movie. Matt Reeves remake Dark Knight.
Italian Job. Yeah, Italian Job.
Yeah, Italian Job was one.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah. West Side Story. I finally watched the remake. It's good. Spielberg seems to know what he's doing with that. I mean, would episode 7 of Star Wars count? Because it's basically a remake of episode 4.
Yeah, basically.
310 to Yuma.
What's it called? I like the original and the remake of the Coen brothers did the remake. What the hell's it called?
The one with
the Western.
True Grit.
True Grit. Yeah, True Grit. That was a good remake.
Yes, with Haley Steinfeld. I'm gonna go to hell for this, but the Friday the 13th remake with Derek Mears, it came out in 2007 or 9.
Didn't see that.
Casino Royale, yes, 100% Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of Solaris, and my memory of Solaris was the incredibly beautiful woman in it.
Damn, I don't really have a lot of remakes. I just realized this in my collection, so I was trying to go off that.
Cape Fear.
I guess Italian Job was the only one I saw.
But... Yeah, Cape Fear with De Niro.
Or Scarface, I guess. Yeah, technically it's Casino Royale. It's good.
I didn't pick Ocean's 11. That was Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Would The Color of Money count as a remake for The Hustler, or no? Or is it more of a sequel? I feel like it's more of a sequel.
It's more of kind of a requel, I think.
It's, oh god. Yeah.
Oh, guys, I'll be right back, and while
Yeah.
I'm gone, I'll try and think of another.
Yeah, get some ice. Jeez,
I
Jack.
desperately need ice. Yeah.
I don't think they have a shortage of that in Canada, but I could be wrong.
It's springtime.
I feel like Gore would have a huge list of remakes that were actually good.
Okay, he's calling this.
So 310 to Yuma.
It was good.
It was good, but like I haven't rewatched it since I saw it. Like True Grit, even I don't know which one I would like better. Probably.
I thought the actors in True Grit were better.
Yeah, I think True Grit's a little better.
There's been several remakes of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think the Donald Sutherland one from '78 was the best.
Yeah, Gore. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. Gore. So.
Equalizer was a TV series first, so that's not a remake. Starsky and Hutch was terrible. Magnificent Seven, I didn't love that remake. I really fucking hated the Lone Ranger movie, and that was a remake, and that was terrible.
Oh, Bird Box. That was an excellent remake.
Birdcage, not Bird Box.
No, Bird Box. For sure.
Insomnia.
That is probably my least favorite Nolan film. But
is that a remake?
But I haven't seen it in, God, when did that come out? Like 2003 or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch it because it's been almost 20 years since I've seen it. But I just remember I was like, eh.
Let's see, we didn't have a... Jaws hasn't had a remake. Rambo hasn't had a remake. The Predator didn't have a real remake.
No, it did not. That Shane
Black, yeah, that
shit does not.
Yeah,
count.
that was not great.
The Howling remake wasn't bad.
There's been a lot of Howling remakes.
The most recent one, though, I think is what I'm thinking of.
And weirdly, like, I like the Fincher remake of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but I like the overseas version with Noomi Rapace better.
Yeah, me too.
Same with Let the Right One In. I probably would watch.
Stars.
I would probably end up. I don't want to see a remake of American Werewolf in London. I just don't need to see that. The Halloween remake was fucking atrocious, and I don't understand why the fuck they allowed Rob Zombie to make that movie.
You want to talk about bad remakes? The Nightmare on Elm Street remake they tried to do.
So I didn't think Jackie Earl Haley did terrible.
Awful.
He
but
was able to use what he was given.
So he wasn't bad, but the film itself, the acting, the writing, and even his makeup, I thought was... So they went to try to do more realistic, and it ended up just being garbage, in my opinion. So,
if it's the one not Natasha Kinski, it was very good, and it had Malcolm McDowell, I believe.
Oh, I heard they're gonna do a reboot of Lost. I wonder what John thinks of that.
I don't think they need to ever reboot that or anything with that. Like it ended, and I'm glad it ended, and just leave it at that. Boy, I'm stumped on remakes because there's so fucking many of them.
Yeah, Hollywood's kind of ran out of ideas, haven't they? Oh, another bad. Well, I guess I can't say horrible, but just kind of blah remake. RoboCop. That was just
Oof.
blah.
Sorry,
John, that was the best.
You're
thought
not
you
sorry.
had. He's not sorry. He's just being polite. Ooh, yeah, the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes was an excellent remake for sure. Yes.
What?
What?
Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder one. I liked.
You know what remake I really have a fondness for? The Night of the Living Dead, the one with what's his face, Tony Todd, and I really like that remake.
That Night of the Living Dead remake was good.
Solid.
I know two of the best remakes ever. The Thing
and the Batman.
No, and David Cronenberg's The Fly.
Yes.
The Fly, and the It remake. I really like.
Is it a remake since it's on a TV series? That's where I'm kind of in that weird area.
I'd still consider it a remake. It's pretty. The story's pretty similar, right?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, the RoboCop one is terrible.
Nosferatu, the Klaus Kinski one.
The Shadow of the Vampire.
So Shadow of the Vampire was supposed to be Willem Dafoe was supposed to be Klaus Kinski, right? It wasn't supposed to be the 1930s one.
Well,
I misremembering?
He's playing Orlok, Count Orlok in it. So they think he's just an actor in it, where he's actually a vampire.
Yeah, so the 80s, I think it was the 80s Nosferatu, Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski as Nosferatu. That was good.
There's a lot to mine with that too, and then there's been the horrible remakes like Black Christmas, The Fog.
I haven't seen any of the Black Christmas stuff.
Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Oh no, nope. R.I.P. James Gandolfini. That is one of the best remakes in my time. Denzel, come on. And then you got John Travolta talking about huffing cocaine off strippers and hookers' asses, and just the best monologues and dialogues ever.
I will say the Colin Farrell Fright Night wasn't terrible.
I'm just gonna skip right over that, Dan. Just go right past my taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3.
I
never know.
Do you want me to talk about The Wicker Man with fucking Nicolas Cage?
Yes, I haven't seen that, and I love when people talk about it because I've seen the clips. That's the one with the bees, right?
The bees.
Oh god, I want to watch that so bad.
So he punches out Kathy Bates wearing a bear suit too.
Oh yes.
It's so bad. But then you have oh god, what's the Ari Aster movie that just came out? The Midsummer, which is Wicker Man. It's 100% Wicker Man, but more female driven.
Really?
Yes. Like, just picture it with Christopher Lee or Nicolas Cage in the main role, and you're there.
Yeah. I thought Midsummer was great visuals.
Too long.
I
When they started eating soup with pubes in it, I kind of started checking out.
We've talked about this a little bit, but I want to touch on it again because I don't think I made myself clear last time. But I think those films, especially Hereditary, The Witch, the final act, they feel a little pretentious to me every time. Like they just don't feel like not like it's forced, but it just feels like, ooh, this is going to be, what do you call that? That they brought up in Scream. That
Shocking.
fancy horror,
They
elevated horror kind of deal, and like it just lets down for me in the third act every time. But
so Ignacio, the Wolfman, like much like the other remakes of the Universal horror, I just don't think they get the feel of it. The Universal horror movies while they were horror, were fun.
yeah,
and those weren't fun. Like Anthony Hopkins being a werewolf in it too kind of sucked. It took away a little bit, and it's weird because like I feel like the Brendan Fraser Mummy got more of the feel of what the Universal horror movies were than anything else.
Oh, do you remember Wolf with Jack Nicholson?
Yes.
And Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
I watched that in the theater in high school. Oh God, that was.
Well, Ignacio is a werewolf. That's why he's biased.
Yeah, he's absolutely. Yeah.
So, Drac, do you get along with werewolves? Okay, like I mean, in general, or no?
I get along with Ignacio,
but
I think most other werewolves probably not.
Okay.
Yeah. Filthy
I mean,
animals.
still to this day, like
they make a fine fur lining for my cape.
Ooh.
Like I can only imagine like the greatest Bram Stoker's Dracula would have been with Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman, and then if you put Willem Dafoe in that somehow and just see like the scenery being chewed left and right. Because on the show where we talk about Bram Stoker's right, there's a point where Anthony Hopkins and Gary Oldman were having like a contest about who could fucking steal the scene more because they were both overacting the shit out of everything.
Yes.
Dude, Gary Oldman. Man.
Which, after watching The Professional, you knew that was in him.
Have you seen, did you see his take on Churchill and Darkest Hour?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that.
Fucking loved that.
Yeah.
So good. Interesting, unique, and a little bit liberties on there, but still, like, he was so good, man. If it wasn't for his eyes, like, I would have forgot it was Gary Oldman right away.
Did you watch that DiCaprio movie where he played Hoover?
Oh, I hated that fucking movie. J. Edgar. That is awful.
I didn't see that.
It is Clint Eastwood propaganda.
But him disappearing in the makeup is what I'm more talking about. Where like you kind of.
Sorry, I was getting ready to go on a rant.
If you didn't know it was him, like you wouldn't have recognized him that much.
Yeah, a little bit. I
mean, DiCaprio still like I between The Departed and I think Revenant are probably his two best parts.
Ooh, I still need to watch Revenant.
The 4K copy, crisp.
Can you just play it on your TV and then record it and then send me that recording so I can watch it on my TV? Because it'd probably look better than the actual.
It wouldn't though. I bought an OLED, so it looks nice, and it's got the Dolby Vision.
What do you think of Dracula 2000? Drac, what did you think of that?
It was fun.
I didn't finish watching that.
They made so many sequels of it.
It was god. I remember getting a kick out of it because I think at the time it came out, I was still in high school. I want to say, and I think it was like a date movie, so I was just like, whatever.
I just remember being fascinated because the guy Johnny whatever in it was the one from Hackers who ended up marrying Angelina Jolie, which at the time Angelina Jolie was like top of everything.
I'm so turned off by the title too, Dracula 2000.
Yeah. So stupid.
Ravenous, fucking awesome.
That's awesome movie, yeah. I think my dream casting right now. I mean,
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to Nicolas Cage, but because of Shadow of the Vampire, I want Willem Dafoe as Dracula. That's
Really?
yeah. I would love
He'd
to
be an
see Willem
awesome
Dafoe as
Renfield.
Dracula. He would also be an awesome Renfield.
So
Wow.
recast The Lighthouse, but in a Dracula movie.
Yeah.
Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson as Dracula.
I mean, he's already played a vampire,
Oh,
so.
just
Yeah, but no, like-
Dracula versus Batman. Do that.
But then
Oh my
you'd
god,
have
that would be cool though. Actually, I'd go see that. For
Willem
an
Dafoe as
Abbott
Renfield
and
would be
Costello
awesome.
Meet Dracula style movie, but with Batman.
that would be awesome.
Dracula.
Ooh,
Or
with Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Like
fucking
I would
sweet.
100% watch a Fincher Dracula movie.
Yeah.
I'd
Definitely.
watch that.
100%, I'd be into it. Or like Christian Bale as Quincy Harker or Jonathan Harker.
Mm-hmm.
Or as Patrick Bateman. That'd be sweet.
I would do Florence Pugh as Mina.
Ooh.
Or if I went a little bit more low key, Gemma Arterton, because I loved her in a lot of bad movies. She
Like
was
what?
in the Clash of the Titans. She was Io in
Dear
it.
God.
She was also in the very, very terrible movie with Jeremy Renner where they were Hansel and Gretel, witch hunters.
I can't bring myself to watch that.
No.
Listen, like I have a blind spot for kind of hot girls, and she was also in
Yeah, that's fine.
Quantum of Solace. She was the redhead that gets killed.
Really?
Yes,
I don't remember that, but I wasn't a huge.
she's
fan
that
of her.
actress you don't remember, but you're like, oh, she's attractive, and then just kind of move on. Weirdly, there's an actress that I would love to see in kind of one of these movies, and that's Penelope Cruz, because she kind of disappeared, and I kind of love her.
Yeah.
She was the best part of Vanilla Sky, and there wasn't much to love about Vanilla Sky.
She definitely was the best part of Vanilla Sky.
Yeah. Boy, I hate that movie. I hate it with a passion. Jason Lee, like I wanted to punch after that movie. Yeah, I think that's like by weird actions, but like I don't know if we're ever gonna get that kind of Dracula movie. I'd rather see like a really cool HBO Max or Disney Plus series if somehow they can get the rights back to Dracula and just do all the Tomb of Dracula series, because
I agree. Yeah.
Tomb of Dracula was better than any movie that's been put out in the last like 30 years.
Totally. And it's so weird and different, and it would be amazing. Yeah, they need to do something with it.
Because basically it was descendants of the people who were after Dracula in the original book by Bram Stoker, god damn it, Bram Stoker, where these characters came back, and it tied into X-Men, where like Rachel Van Helsing got turned, and Wolverine had to run her through with his blades at sunlight to kill her. Like they actually managed to tie it into the X-Men books, because like Dracula had a hard-on for Storm and converted her into a vampire.
That's
for
right.
an issue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was an issue of Uncanny X-Men. Yeah.
It was an
Or
annual,
Uncanny X-Men annual. Yeah.
Or giant size. But I can never pronounce her name. It's Saoirse Ronan or
Cersei or Saoirse.
Saoirse.
She is a great actress.
Saoirse Ronan.
And I'd be interested. I don't know if she'd be my main character, but I think she could be a great Lucy.
I believe that's Gaelic, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that movie with
What's up,
Eric
Jay?
Bana?
So, I want to see Christopher Walken play Dracula.
Yeah.
That would be fucking
100%.
amazing.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine that?
Yeah.
You've come to my castle. Oh my.
Oh fuck. That'd be great.
You are now mine. Children of the Night.
Oh fuck.
God, The Simpsons. They used to do those skits with like him reading "Good Night, Moon." How now, brown cow? Good night, moon. Come here, switch forward, little children. Scoot forward.
I still say one of his underrated monologues he gives was in what's that movie
Pulp
called?
Fiction with a watch.
Nope, Tony Scott with Denzel. Man on Fire.
Man on
where
Fire.
he's talking about Creasy. He's about to pay masterpiece.
The Suicide Kings was also one that he was pretty good in.
True Romance.
True Romance. The Dead Zone. Probably one of his best movies.
Zone. Yeah.
I watched way too many Stephen King movies growing up.
Dude, I need to get a list of like stuff that you've seen that I haven't.
I mean, there's just so many, especially the TV stuff like Langoliers.
Oh, Langoliers was terrible.
So
Night
bad.
Flyer was terrible. Sometimes they come back.
Tommy Knockers.
Yeah. I mean, other than The Stand, it's the only one of the TV series that were really worth a damn. And the acting in it on the second hour of it, so fucking horrible.
It's really bad.
I was gonna ask you about The Stand because I remember watching that as a kid and like liking it, but I didn't know if it holds up or does it hold up. Okay,
but you've got good actors in it. The guy who played the guy who played Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Oh, Gary Sinise?
Gary Sinise, yeah. Like he's one of the main actors in it, and there's character actors galore. And then Molly Ringwald, who, I mean, we all kind of grew up with at one point.
Kind of off topic, but did you see that meme on Easter with Lieutenant Dan? And then, you've got no eggs, Lieutenant Dan. I don't know why, it just cracked me the hell up. Oh, man.
Jesus. It's almost 1 o'clock, and I'm at my like.
I could tell Drax getting sleepy.
I'm
gotta go to his coffin.
Yeah.
Stand By Me was great. Green Mile was great.
Yeah.
Green Mile.
Shawshank. Like you can't discount that.
Yeah.
God, that Green Mile just hits hard, man.
Yeah.
New background, Carlito?
Sure.
Did you ever see the made-for-TV version of The Shining?
Oof.
I think I saw a couple minutes of it.
What Stephen King declared as the true version of The Shining?
Yes, because he was not totally pleased with Kubrick's version because it was too different from the book.
No, when Kubrick started putting different colored cars in there just to piss him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hate
Running Man.
Tyler, but
Running Man's always awesome. Just Jesse the Body Ventura, Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie. Freaking great.
Did you see the Total Recall remake?
I did.
I don't want to watch it. I heard it was so bad.
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It's just, I think that's a movie like RoboCop that has point in time. Just don't touch it. That RoboCop remake was terrible. But my God, that original RoboCop, I still laugh at when I watch just because those dumb commercials during it. It's the same reason why I love Starship Troopers.
Yeah. Great movie.
I still like Stargate.
Been a long time since I watched that.
It's all right. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so I think I'm ready to almost go to bed. So thank you, everybody, for watching this alcohol-fueled celebration. I am not as drunk as I was the week before, so that's a good sign. I might be able to go to sleep because I was too drunk to go to sleep. Thank you so much, Adrian, for coming on. Glad to have you on.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, great.
You were just like, hey, I'll be there. I was like, why don't you just come on? And it's been a fun year. And Jen and Cinia said they want to come on do the Lighthouse.
Oh, dear God.
Sydney is
you're
agreement.
not looking forward to that, Carlito?
So I have mixed thoughts on the Lighthouse.
It's an interesting movie to discuss, though, because there's a lot going
I
on.
will get 100%, absolutely.
But Sydney is like, as long as you let me talk about Robert Pattinson fucking a mermaid, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to put myself through that again, but I probably will.
I've watched it once, so I feel like maybe a second viewing might
I guess I could
tilt
watch it a
me
second
different
time.
directions.
I mean,
But
and
I
now I've
kind of-
seen him in the Batman, so maybe I'll have a different.
That was my movie that
Take
made me
on.
turn on Robert Pattinson, though. Like, where I was like, okay, he can do some weird shit.
See, mine was Good Time.
I feel like The Lighthouse would have worked really well as a play, possibly even better as a play.
Absolutely.
Jen is convinced it's a comedy.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
She also ate edibles before watching it, so I can see where she's coming from with that.
Oh man,
I've heard nothing but good things about The Northman, and I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, so do I.
I've heard way too many things, and like with Alexander Skarsgård being the main actor, I was like, is it really that good, or is like women kind of like thirst watching?
Hype machine thirst watch.
Yeah, like I've seen it before where like the hype machine goes into full effect. There's been a couple of movies where like the hype machine really went. I walked in, I was like, it was okay. Avatar being one of them, where I was like, I'll never watch it at home, but the theater experience, it's fine.
Will you be disappointed if it's just True Blood with Vikings?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like literally, that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
If it's anywhere near the 13th Warrior, I'm also okay.
I'm not gonna front. I've kind of been itching to rewatch True Blood for some reason.
Dude, I
Don't know
did.
why.
I want to say last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first two seasons
First
are
two
decent,
seasons are good.
and then it
Just
falls
gets-
apart.
yeah.
Like hard.
I remember really liking the first two seasons. I don't remember much after that, but
it gets really bad.
yeah.
There was another movie where everybody was falling all over themselves about The Green Knight.
Oh yeah.
I watched it. It was fine, but like I don't know if it's because people were thirsting so much over just wanting to watch a movie in theaters.
Mm.
And you know, it was one of those A24 movies that were very artsy that came out, and you're just like, okay, it's good. Like the dude from Slumdog Millionaire is in it, and he's good. Like it was solid.
Have you seen the trailer for that one with what's her name, Michelle Yeoh? That
Everything is everywhere at
Everything
once.
yeah.
I want to go see it because everybody's telling me it's like a complete mindfuck movie.
Mm-hmm. That looks really good.
And honestly, like the last movie I went to that like mindfucked the shit out of me was probably forever ago Event Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but that was a movie. Also, like I got shit-faced drunk before going seeing it. It was probably the worst thing to see, and I was just like, "Wait, what just happened?" Sam Neill was in it.
So for me, it was Tenet. Tenet, baby.
Oh, I still have to watch that.
That in IMAX. I fucking walked out like, holy shit! I need to fucking see that again.
I remember The Prestige when I saw it, and also I saw Inception in IMAX, and like visually just kind of stunned me into submission.
Yeah,
and there's certain movies. Hero by Jet Li was another one in the theater that was really good. Once you started like processing what just happened, I think we just killed Carlito.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I just like took a big inhale of the scotch into my lungs. Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's all right. You got anything going on your channel, Adrian? You want to plug before?
Let's see. I've got every Wednesday I do comic picks in the 4 and 6 with Comic Aussie. And so tomorrow I think I'll be doing I'll just be doing like a live unboxing video at some point. And then Monday I'm doing an episode of Casual Dracula. I'm doing a morning show Monday morning.
Oof.
Time TBA, and I'll be joined by my good buds Lee and Tyler from Whack Comics, and we're gonna do a crazy morning show, so that should be a lot of fun.
I like Lee.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, Lee's good. Tyler is gonna be there too.
Is Maggie gonna be there? Because that would be cooler. But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, fuck yeah, bud. Yeah, guys, don't
Fuck yeah,
miss
bud.
the Monday show. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I will send you the link for Mouse for next Saturday. We're doing about the same time as we did this.
Yeah.
So if you want to join us, that would be a surprise for Adriana, since she's been kicked out of Comic Book Fiend Club.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate, but that's the
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense, right? It's like
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I just found out about that.
It's not one of the kind of real. There's not a lot of, I'd say, rules or anything, but one of the things with the Fiend Club is no drama. We don't want.
Yeah, no, she's completely okay with it. Like
Yeah.
she has no misgivings. She was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm out of there." I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
That being said, there's drama because we're all.
There's always going to
We're
be
all
in any
human.
kind of faction club or whatever. There always is.
You just try to avoid it as much as possible.
But yeah, it will be a very heartfelt episode talking about Mouse, like, because it's been 20 years since I last read it, and I forgot what a fucking gut punch that first part is when you find out that reveal.
Yeah, I'll probably reread that as well because it's been a while.
Yeah, because it's Chaos and Comics, Scott Hazelwood, and Adriana's now part of my show, so she hasn't read it before, so it'll be interesting.
Nice, yeah.
That'd be a good panel.
And
I gotta say, like Adrian, even though I don't currently, I think I don't have anything on my pull list anymore. And I barely have any time to watch YouTube or anything, but I do check out your show with Comic Ozzy a lot. So.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
and I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm really bad about that. Like, I subscribe to a lot of channels, but like my time to actually sit down and watch the other channels, and I feel fucking horrible about it because there are people who like comment on it. I was like I want to like just know like I subscribe out of love, but I just
there's so much.
There's
a lot. You can't watch it all. I mean, I the other day I looked at my because if I see something, I'll add it to my watch later playlist. There's just hundreds and hundreds of videos on my watch later playlist. Like it's
so
unreal.
I'm worse because I have like my personal account where like the stuff I know I'm gonna watch is on, and then there's this channel where like I'm mutually subscribing. I don't know how to describe it. Like there is stuff like I make sure I watch it, and then there's stuff like I'll get to. Like I got invited on a show and they're like, "Well, you subscribe, you don't know what my show format is." I was like, "No." Like sorry, like I work overnights. Like there's literally not enough time in my day to do any of this stuff.
I mean, like if you watch my show Comic Picks in the 416, you get to see me show off comics that I never get to read because I don't have time.
Like I just last week read 150 comics to get my to be read pile down, and like it literally I had to turn my phone off and everything else to do nothing but focus on it. And then I realized what like a fucking mess it is because like I literally had to turn everything off just so I could do nothing but catch up. So like I'm up to this week's books where it's nothing but I have no back pile, no backlog, no nothing. And like I sat there, I opened my iPad up, I was like, I'm not in the mood to read. Fuck. Like, and I don't even understand like how I was able to do it with Jen, because we did it every Friday, and I'd have to pound down 30 to 40 books before Friday afternoon when we'd sit down to record.
Yeah.
And like, I just can't do it. I don't have that time anymore, and I miss having that time.
Yeah,
I really do. Which, Carlito, your pull list is gone. Like, we're just starting this big Deathstroke arc now in Batman. Shadow
okay,
War.
so technically I'm still getting that, but I haven't been to my shop in
Okay,
I don't know, 3-4 weeks now.
that makes more sense.
But that's the only one on there. I mean, but like of stuff that people actually care about, I have not subscribed to anything. So. But I did finally pick up the series I was looking forward to. I think it came out last year. I finally picked it up. New Burn.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
I heard it was good, and I was really
like
looking
New
forward
Burn.
to that. So
yeah, man, Chip Zdarsky, he's
his run on Daredevil
so
was great. And I
honestly, that'll be the first thing I read before Deathstroke Inc. So
my LCS, they have a ton of signed copies of New Burn, because Chip Zdarsky stops by there occasionally and just signs
nice.
Books. Yeah.
I've been recommending Nice House on the Lake to a bunch of my friends who don't normally read comics a lot.
Yeah.
On top of Philadelphia, Nita Hawes. And there's a book that came out, Bliss by Sean Lewis, which is another one I recommend, especially if you in your life have daddy issues. It is an interesting book to read.
I think John's really big on Philadelphia too, isn't he?
Yeah, I had him on last time we had the writer on. I've had the writer on 4 times now. He's a friend of the channel now. It's weird.
Oh, there was somebody that
Lakers series too.
Oh yeah, there's somebody Adrian had on. It might have been a couple months ago now, but God, it was a fucking good interview. Oh man.
Well, last interview I did was with Rich Davis, who wrote Cult of Dracula, and who did I have before that? I'm trying to remember now. I don't do the interviews too often. I had Ryan Brown on. Really
that was good
artist.
too.
Yeah.
I like some of his stuff for sure. I have I think a couple of the Venom covers and stuff. So
I do have one. My next interview is I'm just waiting for a reply.
Exclusive.
Yeah, Andrea Muti, who I talked to before that. Yes, correct. He's great. He's a really cool guy.
Oh yeah.
I've been back and forth with Rom V's assistant quite a bit, trying to get him on to talk about Swamp Thing and the new Aquaman series. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but
so I'm hopefully have another one coming up this month. We'll see.
Any hints as to possibly who it would be?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he agreed to it. It's just we've got to schedule it still. Martin Marazzo, the artist of Ice Cream Man.
Nice.
Yes. I tried to get the writer on, and he was just like, I got a day job, I can't do it. And
yeah, I reached out to him.
Fine with that.
Yeah.
It was very
I really want to talk to him, W. Maxwell Prince.
Yes.
I don't know that guy. I want to get into that guy's brain for a while.
Yeah, he's on my want list, and he straight up said, like, I got a day job, I've got this other stuff going on, and like I just don't have time to do it. I was like, good enough. Like, I'm good. I did have Steve Orlando on once, and he was great to talk to about like everything. I'd love to get Marv Wolfman on and talk to him just about nothing but Tomb of Dracula.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I wouldn't even care. I would still watch it all. I'd love Marv Wolfman, obviously.
He's on my list of like people I want on. Gambit and I are gonna do a George Perez appreciation episode because George Perez was actually gave his wife away at Gambit's wedding. That's who he played the father of the bride.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I
he's
think
not
that-
taking George's medical condition very well lately.
Yeah. I think the person I'd want to interview most, which will never happen because he doesn't do interviews, is Bill Sienkiewicz. But that would be cool.
I've seen him do like one or two, but no,
Yeah.
just he's very private,
Mhm.
and I'm okay with that, like because you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And I would want to talk about nothing but Demon Bear from New Mutants because that was like the run where I think his art changed the most and became very experimental.
Yeah. Did you ever see the cover he did for Alf?
No.
He did a cover of Alf.
I think I saw that.
And it's very experimental. Yeah.
Frank
Did
Miller
you talk about that on your channel? Or...
I think I probably showed off a copy.
I think that's might have been where I saw that at.
Frank Miller is somebody I would love to talk to, but I don't think it would go well.
Right.
What? See, my channel's really going to take off. My first interview, I'm still having scheduling issues, but it's going to be with Amber Heard. So I think it's really going to it's going to go well.
Looking forward to that one. Yeah.
There's two people in the world I'm more scared about talking to. John Carpenter and Frank Miller are the two people I'm most scared to talk to.
Yeah.
I talked to John Carpenter. I don't know about Frank Miller. I don't think
they're two people I respect, but no, like John Carpenter is one of the most cantankerous, angry old men you will ever talk to.
I think I could handle him. Frank Miller, I don't know. He's a little. I watched it. Did you see when John Schnepp went to the comic shop with Frank Miller? He's just, I don't know, man. He's a different cat, that's for sure.
But I also saw like a little girl at a convention get up and raise her hand, like, what's your favorite Batman or what's the best Batman? He's like, and his answer was great. He's like, whichever one you love the most, that's your Batman. It's the best answer you could ever give.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah. At least he didn't say, shut up, little girl.
Shut up, C-word. Yeah. That's what it is.
Girl. Oh my God.
Read All-Star Batman. Then you'll find out your best Batman is. All right, we're at the 1 o'clock hour. 1 a.m.
here. Oh, almost 3 hours. Dang it.
It is 3 hours.
It's
2:57. Damn it.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you all following and staying with us. Those who managed to last through almost 3 hours of this.
Very few people left.
Go ahead and subscribe to Adrian's channel, Actual Dracula. The links are below. And he will, I guess, be here with us next week for Mouse. This will be a surprise edition. So it's going to be a very solemn and dignified episode. We're not going to play the...
What?
She'll get very serious for this.
Very serious.
She will be very preachy. There's... we're not going to play the Georgia O'Keeffe game. It's not going to be Vagina or Flower. That was the last time Chaos and Comics was on.
Yeah, Chris is crazy.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat.
He cracks me up.
Like Chris. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe to Drac and make sure to keep an eye out for when we start the Swamp Thing read along with Moonlit Comics. We don't know what channel it's happening on, but it's happening. And you're going to be on for Moon Knight on her show next week.
Yes, I'm gonna be on. I forget which day it is. I'll be on next week, and she'll be on my channel as well next Thursday for my Moon Knight show, which is just.
They also did
Moon Knight. Yeah,
she did a great run on the Philadelphia series, which actually weirdly got her on my radar, and we started talking, and I started giving her little things that I found out about the series for when she did her interviews. So we started becoming friends after that, and then yada yada yada. We're doing Swamp Thing.
I don't know if it'll be appropriate if I should wear, because you said it'll be solemn, if I should wear my Halloween costume for the mouse show. I have a
Which
Halloween.
Halloween?
It's I'm one of the. It's a Halloween costume I wore a couple of years ago. One of the bad guys from Schindler's List.
You know what? I don't know.
Uh,
I'm now trying to remember Schindler's List of the bad guys.
God.
Did
It's one
they
of the
all wear
bad guys
suits?
from Schindler's List. Yeah, just like a uniform. Yeah.
Wear the cape at least.
Yeah.
We'll get there when we get there. Take care, everybody. Thank you,
Oh,
and
God.
good night.